are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian.
I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
To all you Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
BueNote fan report. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Welcome to a late edition of the BueNote fan report. Not too bad for me. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Not bad. At least it's not an East Coast game. I think we're all done with the East Coast and 1 p.m. games for me anymore, unless we've got our 12:30 with when I come on noontime games, unless we get Sunday game, but that's okay. Sundays I can take. But hey, man, it is what it is. My voice is going away. Oh my goodness, we are taking on the Calgary Flames, the second in our 3-game Western Canada swing. The streak is done. The point streak is over. The Blues lost to Winnipeg 3-2. That is a game that they possibly should have. Well, they should have won that game. They absolutely should have won that game. They played extremely well, and Winnipeg just got lucky. I mean, that's all there is to it. Winnipeg got lucky. Oh my goodness. Getting one of these idiots from out their way. YouTube sometimes, I mean, it helps get people to the show, but sometimes it gets bad people to the show. Doesn't matter, they're gone. Where is everybody? I guess the late game is hi Kimberly, how are you? I guess the late game is why they're nobody here. E gave us some love on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, please give it to us too. We appreciate it. The likes help. The subscribes help. Everything helps. We're trying to get to 1,000. We're like at 804. Right? This is the BueNote fan report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and Justin Eagle Eye Scott will be along shortly. We will be giving you our live game day reaction of the Blues and the Calgary Flames as it goes on. We'll tell you what we see. We'll tell you what we think, and we'll give you our opinions. We want to hear your opinions. We want to hear what you think. We want to hear your voice. Your comments are what make this show go. That's why when I started this 8 years ago, I said my motto was by a fan, for the fans, and about the fans. And I absolutely mean that. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, E, I see you, buddy. How you doing, man? My goodness. I'm hoping Justin shows up soon. I've had a rough day. Just happens sometimes. You deal with what you deal with, right? And I've had one of those days where I've dealt with some things. It is what it is. You figure it out and you move on. Hopefully, I'll get through it, right? Maybe. Let's see. Anybody else around? Where is everybody today? I didn't share it in the group. That's why. I guess I'm dumb sometimes. Didn't share it where I needed to share it. Oh, I screwed something up there. Oh man, it is what it is, right? Dun dun dun. Trying to get here. I'll be with you guys in a second. I'm trying to share it to my group. Oh man, there we go. Hopefully more people are popping on. They're saying the under 5.5 goals. Yeah, I could see taking the under on that. Hofer's in net. Should win the game. Calgary's taken. Hi, Jimmy. How you doing? Light, sound, geometry. Aloha. How are you? Welcome.
May I have your attention, please? A fire emergency has been reported in the building. Please leave the building by the nearest exit.
Hold on. I might be on hold here. Stand by, everybody.
May I have your attention, please?
It sounds like I have a emergency in the building. Stand by. Let me kind of figure out what's going on.
May I have your attention, please?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys can hear that. I stand by. I will be back here shortly when I figure out what's going on. Hopefully Justin will pop.
For exit stairway.
Okay. It looks like it's a false alarm, but they can't make the alarm go off until the
May I have your attention, please?
he can't they can't turn it off till the fire department shows up. So if I'll stay if you guys aren't is the alarm affecting anybody? If it is, I guess I'll have to pop off and maybe pop back on. Right. So that's what we're dealing with right now. It's what I'm dealing with. So I guess stand by to stand by, guys. Thank you.
Aloha, Papa Bars. How are you guys doing tonight? I did catch a little bit of kind of what's going on with Guy, so hopefully everything's all good there. He's probably like, "Oh, dude, he's back. He's here." Hopefully he
I'm
gets.
not going to come on until the alarm's done, because it's just going to be, it's loud enough that it's taking over my voice. I'm sure you can hear it, right?
Yeah, I can hear it. I've heard it. I knew it was going on. What haven't you covered so far?
I just started. I was covering the loss and hadn't really got into the game yet.
Okay.
Sorry, man. I'll be back as soon as they reset it.
All right. Yeah, so Blues lose their last game, as Guy was kind of discussing before he was so rudely interrupted by his alarm there. The Blues lose their last game to the Winnipeg Jets. This was not a game where the Blues were outplayed. This was a game where the Blues did the outplaying. They dominated the Jets. It's unfortunate. It was kind of a deflating loss considering where both teams stand in the standings right now with the wild card positionings and stuff. But this was a game that the Blues played well in and that they deserved to get a win in and just didn't. And it happens. But rebound.
Hey, they're evacuating the building. I'll come back when it clears. So just do the best you can, okay?
Yeah.
And don't worry about comments. Just talk as best you can, okay?
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well, as Guy gets interrupted here, yeah, the Blues, they're looking to rebound after the loss to Winnipeg, and it should go okay. The Calgary Flames are technically in the rebuilding stages. They're in the beginning portions of it. The Blues, on the other hand, I think are more of a retool replacement kind of ordeal where they're just trying to fit in the best pieces. So technically you're looking to win this game, but Calgary's not going to go into the night quietly. For me, I don't really like the word tank because tank just makes it sound like they're not trying, that they just don't care. And I just don't think that's the case. I just don't think that what the Calgary Flames have is up to stuff, right now. They're going through the rebuild. They'll be good in, a couple years again. They got a lot of draft picks coming up in this draft here. So Calgary's going to be in a good place in a couple years. But as of right now, no, they're going to be bad for a couple years. They sold off all their pieces. They traded away Uyghur. Kadri's gone. From what I heard, I think Kadri, he was one that pretty much vetoed everything else besides going back to the Colorado Avalanche, which, I mean, if you're Nazem Kadri, why would you want to go anywhere else? At least you're going to get some, you're surrounded by some guys that for sure. But it's disappointing, I guess, from the Flames aspect because you possibly could have got something maybe better. Depending on who else was in that sweepstakes for Kadri, you could have got something maybe a little bit better. But Kadri didn't want to go anywhere else but the Colorado Avalanche. They're going over the lines right now. The first line staying the same: Jimmy Snuggerud, Robert Thomas, and Dylan Holloway. They've been excellent. Then you have the second line of Neighbors, Pavel, and Jorden and Guy. And this line's pretty much stayed the same. They're trying to keep this line together. I know a lot of people have been really hard on Bush. Then you have the youngsters, Dvorsky, Stenberg, and Druin. So Druin draws back into the lineup tonight. And then you have Suter on the fourth line, which is interesting. So you have Nathan Walker out, and you have Jack Finley and Alexei Toropchenko. So your guys out of the lineup right now are Sundqvist and Walker here. And I don't know if I'm missing anything else here, but it's a different pace. Having Suter on the wing, I think it could work. Suter, I think, has been, like I said, one of the most consistent guys. Jake Neighbors is getting an interview right now. He has 54 games, 14 goals, 12 assists, 26 points. Solid season for Neighbors. kind of cooled down a lot since, after he came back from his injury, but hopefully he's still going to be a massive corner piece of this team for years to come because he is a fan favorite. He is from Calgary, so this could be a good big game for him in this one. He had a big game in the last game against Calgary when we played them in the beginning of the season. I apologize to whoever is getting out comments. I'm not going to attempt to try to read them because if I read them, I'm going to be up close here and personal. I don't want to get up super close on you guys. But Guy will be back soon to go over comments and everything like that. So we got the game coming up here very, very shortly. We still got quite a bit of time to kill, but I'm going to go over the around the town scoreboard and see what's going on around the league. So the Devils are beating the Rangers 4-3 right now. The Rangers have been heavily outshot in this game by a large margin. They picked up the pace a little bit, 16 shots now. At one point, the Rangers went through the first period with only having 2 shots. So, I mean, if you want to talk about shots, I hear a lot of that. Oh, why don't the Blues shoot? Why don't they do this? Well, Rangers had 2 shots and were only down 2-1 at the end of first period. So it's just kind of how it goes sometimes. Rangers are getting outshot 35-16 currently. And the score is 4-3. So Rangers still alive in that one. The Canes and Pittsburgh Penguins are tied at 3. We could see that going into overtime. There's just under 10 minutes to go in the period. And third, the Capitals are up 2-0 on the Sens. This is a pretty big game for their standings because both of those teams are kind of in the hunt over there. Senators catching fire here as of late. Then we have the Flames, of course, versus the Blues coming up. We have the Avalanche and the Stars coming up at 8:30 as well, which that's a game you should not miss. Probably going to be an exciting one. Always is, 2 competitive teams. And then you have the Ducks playing the Philadelphia Flyers at 9. So that is your late game, and those are your games around the league. As far as your standings go, for the Eastern Conference, you have the Sabres leading the Atlantic Division. They're a scary team right now. Sabres are playing very, very good hockey. Tampa's kind of struggling as of right now, but Tampa they'll pick it up. The Canadiens, they're still in the hunt there at 3rd place. The Boston Bruins are actually ahead of the Detroit Red Wings right now, tied at 82 points. Senators, 77 points. Toronto at 70, and the Panthers at 69. Panthers in Toronto, I don't think are going to be anywhere near this question unless some miraculous, happens. Carolina leads your Metropolitan Division. That's not all surprising. The Pittsburgh Penguins, this is my surpriser of the year so far. Pittsburgh being so high up just goes to show you how weak the Eastern Conference is. With the Penguins being able to take advantage of, teams like Toronto not playing well, teams like the Panthers not playing well, and the Senators kind of being discombobulated at first and kind of picking up fire now. The Islanders up there in 3rd place. Shin actually scored his first goal. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. The Blue Jackets are fighting. They're definitely catching some fire. And then you got the Flyers who trail them. They're a little farther behind. This is where it kind of falls off. Then the Capitals, then the Devils, and then the Rangers. Rangers have 0 chance of making the playoffs. Devils, pretty close to 0. Capitals, we're pretty close, and the Flyers are tied with the Capitals. So not looking good for those 2 teams, but still statistically in it. Your West, your Central Division is led by Colorado has lost 2 games straight. So that's been a telling sign. Most of these teams that have been up in the standings have kind of been a little cold here recently. Your hottest teams in the league have been Dallas has been hot, and the Buffalo Sabres have been hot. So Avalanche lead the Central, followed by the Dallas Stars. Dallas is only 3 points behind the Colorado Avalanche, which is telling for how great the season started for the Avalanche. Dallas could still take that division, and that would be uber shocking, because if that's the case, then you'd be looking at a matchup between Dallas and whoever makes the last wild card spot, which would be very, very interesting. But this is the telling part for the Central Division. We have the Wild, we have the Mammoth, who are pretty securely in that first wild card spot, the Predators, the Jets, the Blues, and then the Blackhawks. So the Predators, Jets, and Blues are not out of the picture yet. And as for your Pacific, this is where it kind of gets crazy, where you look at how the Central is such a bad division, in my opinion. You have the top 3 teams with 90 points or better. So Wild, Stars, Avalanche have 90, respectively. 90, 94, and 97 points, respectively. The Anaheim Ducks lead the Pacific Division with only 77 points. So this goes to show you the parity between the Central and the Pacific on how bad the Pacific is as a division. The Edmonton Oilers have 77 points as well. They're tied for first with the Anaheim Ducks. Then Vegas has 76 points. They're behind the Edmonton Oilers. The Kraken have 71. The Kings have 71. The Sharks have 70. And then it drops off from there with the Flames having 59 and the Canucks having 50. So the Pacific has been an absolute crapshoot. It is definitely, just from looking at the standings, it is the worst division in hockey as for your competitiveness there. But 77 points has got it done so far in the Pacific. So it's interesting to see. But I at the start of the season, when I said that 77 points would be securely put you in first in your Pacific Division, no, I wouldn't. But Vegas has been kind of disappointing. Edmonton thought that their goaltending situation was kind of handled. I knew it wasn't. But Edmonton, they're still going to be in it, I think. The Draisaitl injury definitely hinders them a little bit, so we'll have to see how they play with that. They're talking about Logan Mailloux. Logan Mailloux leads Blues D in goals, shots, hits, blocks since the Olympic break. So Logan Mailloux playing very good hockey. So for the people that were so gung-ho about, how could we get Logan Mailloux for Zach Bolduc? He's been very good for the Blues, especially coming out of the break. But even before that, Logan Mailloux was finding his footing offensively. His game lacks with his defensive ability. Hopefully, you continue to see that growth defensively, but he has not been terrible. I will try to read some of these if I can read them. I don't want to be all up in the space, you know what I mean? I'm not sure I'd want a second wild card over a 10 spot draft. Yeah, I completely get it. Me and Guy have talked about this. I'm not in the tank brigade. I really am not. Because first off, the Blues, you have to be lucky enough to find your spot where you fit in the draft. Just because you're a bad team, in that position to get that spot doesn't mean you're going to get that spot. Like I said, I've talked about it before. Guy doesn't necessarily believe me, but I think the draft lottery is rigged. And I think it goes back all the way to the days of when Mario Lemieux was, dealing with Pittsburgh, and he was done with his career, and he was not going to have anything to do with the Pittsburgh Penguins. And he said, unless they get a franchise star, I'm not going to be anywhere near this organization anything like that. And then what do you know? The Rangers should have got Sidney Crosby, and they did not get Sidney Crosby. He went to the Pittsburgh Penguins. So I think that there is some validity behind the draft being rigged. I really do. So to each their own. It's not confirmed. It probably will never be confirmed, because then it would definitely be national news if it got released that the draft was rigged in any way. People would not be happy, but I do think that that's the case. I apologize, by the way. I'm gonna try to read your comments. I'm getting them as close as I can, but I don't want to be all up in your business. Really, the only thing to look forward to in a first round matchup against the Avs would be potential of Bennington and Calgary fight. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. It's been a couple years now relieved from that, but it would be cool to see. And that's what worries me, because good teams in the league now, they don't have any shame. If you've seen what happened with Radko Gudas and Austin Matthews, that goes to show you that teams have no care in the world what they do now. Radko Gudas blatantly knees Austin Matthews, takes his whole season away from him. Yeah, Toronto's not having a great year, but Toronto loses their best guy. The NHL loses a superstar in Austin Matthews. Although I call him the most overrated superstar, it's a superstar nonetheless. You lose Austin Matthews, and he only gets a 5-game suspension. I don't agree with that whatsoever. That was an absolute joke. The fact that he had a phone hearing instead of a video call meeting was a joke. I don't like an in-person here. I have no idea why they thought 5 games was enough, and I'll tell you why. The NHL wants the Anaheim Ducks to make the playoffs. They want the Anaheim Ducks to make the playoffs, and that's never been more clear to me than it is now. With how fast that they acted on this, and the fact that they gave him the maximum of what they could have gave him, 5 games. 5 games was not enough for a guy who took his season away from another player in the league. That was not enough. They want Anaheim in the playoffs, and there's a possibility that with how bad the Pacific has been, that if the Ducks lose Radko Gudas, although, not like a superstar, but a player nonetheless for your organization for an extended period of time, like he should have been suspended, Anaheim could have not made the playoffs. You never know with how bad the Pacific is. So that's exactly why they only gave him 5 games. Jason. Yeah, his fire alarm went off. Yeah, I know. That's unfortunate for my friend Guy. That's not good. What's not good, Aaron? Oh yeah, Jason, absolutely, he tried to hurt him. That was absolutely, there was absolutely intent there, and that's why he that's why he deserved more than 5 games. 5 games is criminal. And I'm going to say it. Guy doesn't like when I say it, and like when I kind of bash on the referees and I say, oh well, they need to be held accountable for these things. George Peros, he's not good at his job. And I'm sorry. George Peros is not good at his job, and it shows. I'm not the only one saying this. This has been a very, very hot topic that many fan bases and many fans have talked about. George Peros is not good at what he's doing right now. He's not. He's not keeping players safe. He's not keeping players to the full degree of accountability. And you would think with someone like George Peros, who had his fair share of, player safety incidences, would understand, but clearly it's not. It's not registering. False alarm. Yes. False alarm it was. We just got it all clear. Good job, Guy. See you when you get back. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, yeah. So, sorry, Aaron. It doesn't tell me when. Like I said, when me and Guy are doing this, I can only see the comments that you guys post. I can't see whether or not you replied to somebody else's comment. It doesn't say, "Oh, Aaron replied to Jason." So, my apologies. Hello, mother. Holloway is being highlighted in this game for Calgary. Holloway's been pretty good against the Calgary Flames, and it should be honestly no surprise considering his history there. I mean, he was an Edmonton Oiler. He saw a lot of the Flames when he was in Edmonton, so this should not be surprising. The puck drop is in about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so we're going to go to commercial break, and then we're going to be back for the puck drop.
October 11th, Joe Hofer earned the Blues' first win of the season right here in Calgary at the Saddle Dome. He's back in net tonight. And on the other side, the one guy that seems to score on him, it's Matt Coronado. 3 goals, 10 shots this season, 4 goals against the Blues overall.
So the guy to watch in this game is going to be Coronado for the Flames. He has been pretty much a Blues killer. Yeah, that's odd. It didn't realize that the difference between a reply and such.
And I am back. Maybe.
There you go.
It sounded like they gave the all clear, and luckily I live on the 3rd floor and not the 13th floor, so the elevators are still down. Looks like it was a false alarm. Everything's fine. Sorry about that, but they were coming around. I have listed on my apartment that I can't hear very well. So they came and knocked on my door and said, "Fire alarm, please evacuate." So I had to evacuate. So that's what that was. I'm fine. I guess the game's going to be starting here shortly. I apologize. I got to watch a little bit at the end there. You were talking about the suspension to Gudas, I think it was.
Yeah, Gudas, the 5 games, talked about how it wasn't enough. He should have got more. It was definitely an intent to injure. And I just flat out said that what a lot of people have said. I said George Parros, just you would think someone who has had so much run-ins with player safety that he would kind of understand it. And I'm sorry, he just doesn't. It's been evident. There's been a lot of players that have been gotten off scot-free. Gudas is one of them. He's a guy that has multiple offenses. And the fact that he only got 5 games was not good. Not good. Not a good look. Not a good look for the player safety. Not a good look for George Parros. I mean, they got to crack down and they got to do a better job of keeping the superstars safe.
I wrote an article one time. I can't remember if it was on my page or not. Richard said his last suspension was 7 years ago. Yeah, but
doesn't matter.
Yeah, he still
doesn't matter.
Didn't he? Well, it does matter. How long ago your last offense was does matter. But he also took Crosby out in the Olympics, right?
George, yeah, but I don't remember that hit to the foot. But again, that's fine. But George, our Radko Gudas has 5 separate offenses. I don't care if it was 7 years ago. I don't care if it was last month. He still has the offenses. So whether they happen or not, they still happen. So he has a list. He has a history. That's like me saying, like, oh, well, if Kadri went and did something again, oh, well, his last offense, which wasn't counted as an offense, was the Jordan Bennington run-in. And that's like me saying, oh, well, he's allowed to board someone into the boards because Jordan Bennington got ran in 2022. So it was a couple of seasons ago. So he's allowed to do that. That's not how that works.
Aaron
just in my opinion.
Yeah. Aaron says he can't wait for the 28th. He's going to his final Blues games for a couple of years because he's saving up for a car and a house. Well, hopefully, Aaron, good luck, man. And when I get there this summer, maybe, or this late fall, maybe we can get to see. I can't remember if you're in St. Louis or where you're actually, or how far from St. Louis you are. Hofer against Cooley. They're starting their backup. That's interesting. Right? That's interesting. Puck drop. I never had an Amanda. I had Ashley, and Ashley unfortunately just couldn't do the show anymore. Just life got in the way, and she couldn't do it. So I soloed for a while, and before last season, Justin sent me a message and asked if he could come on the show one time, and he did, and he came on a couple of times, and thought he did a decent job, so I asked him to be my co-host. Richard used to write for me when I had my website, so Richard knows me from way back when.
Oh, okay.
You're a couple of hours east, so you're out in Illinois, or you're a couple of hours, and you're probably closer to Indianapolis, right? Richard says, nice, I like Dustin. Well, there's a good compliment for you, Dustin.
Thank you, Richard. Yeah, I talked about it. These two teams kind of heading in different directions in a sense here. Blues are not in a rebuild. The Calgary Flames are in the start of a rebuild, of a harsh tear-down rebuild. They don't have anybody else. The last piece to move was Kadri. They got rid of Uyghur. I mean, this is a team that is definitely going for the hard rebuild. Blues are more.
I don't think you're getting it from me. Yeah, it's coming from Justin a little bit. There we go. Unfortunately, Justin's got to have the sound up a little bit. We try and keep it down as long as it's not. And I know why he's saying something, just so we don't get a hit. I think we'll be okay with the audio. I mean, it is what it is until I can get Justin this. I'm trying to find a box that I can ship his thing in, and it's because it's a weird size. But once I can find a box where I can ship his stuff, then he'll be able to have headphones on like I do, and he'll be able to set his machine up like I set mine up, so he won't have to hear the game. So that's the hope. That is the hope.
The reason you can hear it now is because I'm in a different spot. As you can see, I'm not in the same spot. It's because what I usually go with my Xbox and I'll watch the game on there, and I can just play it through the audio there, but I'm watching it on my TV in a different location. So that's why I'm turning it up, because I don't want to listen to the game with no sound.
Wow,
So.
he had no chance. Well, Calgary is up 1-0. Looks like Bushnevich kind of screwed the pooch on this one. I'll have to see it again. Not a good start. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think Bush just kind of left the guy open. I mean, it wasn't just Bush. It was all around. That looked like that was everybody. Oh, what happens, Jason, is he mutes his mic when I'm talking until he's ready to talk, so that way he can't hear it. Because I was still going through things, he had it unmuted, and that's what was going on there. Sorry, guys. We're doing the best we can. We'll keep it going. So 1-0, Calgary on their first shot. Hopefully this isn't. I don't want to say anything. I'll keep it down so I don't jinx it. Zary from Strom, and there's probably another assist going to be there. Yeah, Tucker got beat pretty bad. That was on. I mean, the whole team let that down. I mean, there was just no one covered their position right. Blues just can't get in the zone. This is not the same team that played Winnipeg, that's for sure. Oh, my goodness, this is not the same team. Oh, Suter almost. That was beautiful. How far ahead am I of you?
I don't know. Maybe a couple seconds, maybe.
They just took the clock out, so I can't see the clock right now. I'm at 16:05 and counting.
Yeah, you're ahead of me. Mine buffered. That's why.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Ovechkin tied Gordie Howe for the most 25-goal seasons in NHL history. Oh, no, I don't live on the 13th floor. I live on the 3rd floor. I'm glad I don't live on the 13th floor. You're like way behind, Justin. Or not, Jason? Oh. Boy, they look discombobulated. Kind of interesting when you have two teams that are in the bottom, you know, that are both trying to, I don't want to say tank, but the prospects of making the playoffs are slim to none.
Well, and this is why I say that I don't really like the word tank. But, I mean, if I'm looking at this, obviously you're going to have a little bit of a pushback for Calgary. But, I mean, this is a game that if you – like the Blues need it more than Calgary does. If the Blues want to make a push at it, they need this game more than Calgary does. Calgary needs to – Calgary, like I said, I don't like the word tank, but Calgary needs to chill out a little bit because they don't need this win. They should be. They're so far into the season now where they don't have any statistical chance of making the playoffs. So they do need to be tanking to get try to get that first round pick, that first overall pick. That's what they should be doing. But like I said, then again, that they won't because that's why I don't believe in tanking, because these guys don't want to sit there and just purposely lose.
Yeah, no, they don't. And the thing is, when it comes, so players don't quote unquote tank. The management tanks, right? The management ships away good players for not so good players or lesser talented players, so it's harder to win. And I don't think that the Blues management did that, right? I don't think Blues management trading Shen and trading Falk were not that. I mean, they weren't. I don't think that they were. Now, if you traded Thomas or Kyrou or Bennington, well, maybe not Bennington. Well, yeah, I'd say Bennington. Then I'd say management's tanking. But I don't think that management in this case is tanking. Kyrou with the shot right on the pad, but no one would have been there to cover up a rebound anyways.
Well, I already told you. I explained it perfectly. If the Blues got rid of Thomas or Kyrou, depending on what that return was, if it was another superstar in return, then you could still kind of contemplate a retool replacement. But if you're talking about trading those guys for picks and prospects, the Blues are tanking, and the Blues are not tanking. The Blues are going through a rebuild.
Yeah. Blues haven't had to go through a full-on rebuild since 2005, right? Unfortunately, in today, well, see, I don't think you're ever going to see another 25-year run in the playoffs. A 25-year run of a team being in the playoffs. I don't think that that's ever going to happen again. And the reason being, and we talked about this a little bit, is that man, I can't think of the words. I just went completely blank. The parity, the balance between the teams is a lot closer than what it used to be. So you're seeing teams that, used to always be in the playoffs, not be in the playoffs now. And teams that weren't in the playoffs be in the playoffs, right? So it comes a couple of different ways. I think right now that just the way the NHL is, you're not going to get. I don't even know who has the longest playoff streak right now. I think it might be the Penguins, but I don't even know how long that is. Right? Let's see. Let me see. Let's see what we get. Looks like it might be. No, their streak ended in 22-23, and that was 16. So there's no one even close. Okay, now take that back. It looks like the league. That was the last year, so that's going to get broken. Okay, hold on. This was from last season, from ESPN. Active. The Maple Leafs are at 9, and that's probably going to end next season. So we went with this article, April of 25. So this was the beginning of the season, right? Avalanche are at 8. Lightning are at 8. Hurricanes are at 7. So there's no one with like a super, super long streak. And I just don't think it's going to happen anymore. Right? All time, the Bruins have the best from 68 to 96, 29. Chicago Blackhawks are at 28. The Red Wings and the Blues are tied at 25. 70 to 97. I thought that was, I didn't think that theirs was that long. But a lot of them, like the Bruins and the Blackhawks streaks, kind of don't count. Well, actually, no, they do. They were both within they weren't in the 6. They weren't during the 6-team thing. So, so there you are. There you have it. All right, where is everybody? Where are you? Did you run away because I was gone? Because of emergency? Big old thank you to Ted Dieterman, Ray Dominguez, Aaron Nels, Richard Doolittle, Jason Nichols, Erickson Krieger, Zach Schmidt, and E. Guido. Chapter 4-2 for the Blues. 12:04 to go, or 4-2 for Calgary. 12:01 to go in the first period. neither team is playing that good right now. They both look a little discombobulated, but I'd say that Calgary is a little more connected. And that puck was, puck's all around the net. Nope. Close.
I think the Blues have gotten to their game a little bit more. The Flames scored, and then they've been in the zone. The Blues have. This is the same thing that we're seeing in the last game. The Blues have been in the zone, kind of getting some cycle going, and just haven't been able to put the puck in the net. Some scramble right there. I don't think the goalie knew where that puck was.
Oh, by the way, thank you, Justin, for doing the teasers for today. I appreciate that. We're waiting for you for a moment. I gave us a like. Thank you. I was watching the show earlier. Forgot to say my name. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, that was bad. Clear. Who does Calgary have left from that Kachuk trade? I think just one guy, right? Hagel, or I think it was.
Ripped over to the far.
No, Hagel doesn't. No, the Kachuk trade. Uyghur was the guy, and Uyghur's not there anymore. Uyghur went to Utah.
Yeah, there was one other guy though, wasn't it? There was two. It was two guys and 3 picks.
Yeah, I don't even remember what. I don't even think the one amounted to anything. I think Uyghur was the best piece that they got in that trade, I think. Oh, what a hit. Holloway gets 2 for Holloway gets 2 for 1 right there. The referee and the player.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. He'll be okay. Damn, Holloway just doubled Dion him. Double Dion, baby.
Huberdeau, Schwitt, and Uyghur.
They have Huberdeau still. I believe. Yeah. I don't know if he's playing in this game. Huberdeau really lost his appeal and his edge after he left, or after he was.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted the trade at all.
I don't think he did either, but I don't think he had a choice.
No,
so.
Huberdeau is not playing.
Yeah,
and I don't know where Schmidt is. He's not on their roster either.
I don't think Schmidt is on the Flames anymore. I think Huberdeau is the only one left. I think.
Well, it looks like we're going back on the penalty kill. Huberdeau hasn't played since the 4th of February, so I wonder if he's hurt. He must be injured. I can look that up here real quick. Oh, and I just closed it out. Wrong one. Wrong one. Had a barn fire tonight. Hurricane 6-5 over the Penguins in OT. And the Devils doubled up the Rangers 6-3. Let's see here. Who's on the injury list? Yes, Huberdeau is on the injured list. That's why he's not playing. And you're right, Schmidt is no longer with them. Let's see where he went. I'll figure that out here in a quick second. Are we having a good time? You join the conversation. No one's commented since Jason Nichols almost 12 minutes ago. 13 minutes ago. Come on, guys. Help me out. Help us out. He's on Florida. Did he get traded or did he sign with Florida? Oh, he was traded by the Panthers. Or no.
Yeah.
He must have signed. Oh, no. He was selected by waivers.
Yeah.
Right?
Calgary waived him or whatever.
Yeah.
He got waived and then he got claimed by the Panthers again.
No, he got claimed by the Knights. He then he got waived again by the Panthers. Or he got waived by the Knights and was picked up by the Panthers.
Yeah, same thing. He went right back. So power play 1 for 16, 1 for 20 or 2 for 21. Calgary on the power play.
Hey, Wendy. Tad, hopefully the Blues put on a decent amount of shots on goal this game. You know, I get that. I get where you're coming from, Tad. But again, I mean, you can take 50 shots, but if they're all from, outside and not really, they're all clear and there's nobody in front, it doesn't matter. They're not going in the back of the net. You can have 100 attempts, but if only, you got to get them on net and you got to get people there that are ready for rebounds. They can't just be simple shots. They've got to be more complex. And that's why, I don't worry about the shots as much. But I do understand you got to get shots on. You got to get shots to score. Oh, he did it again. Oh, he got back. Good cover there by Hofer. Hey, Wendy, how you doing, buddy?
It was 6. I look at it like this. The Rangers, I don't know what the score ended. I would assume that the Devils beat the Rangers. I don't know what the final score was or if it is the final score yet. Rangers only had 2 shots in the first period and were getting outshot 31 to 16 when I just went over it there when Guy wasn't here, and the game was only 1-goal game. So shots are not everything. It depends on where you actually shoot the puck. It depends on where the shots are.
Devils doubled them up 6-3.
Okay, yeah. So, but the score was 4-3 when you weren't here. So, that's how how things work sometimes. The Devils were out shooting them 35-16, and the score was 4-3. So the Rangers were still in the game despite being outshot that much.
Final totals were 39-18. The Devils scored one at 13:05 and another one at 16:22. That made it. That would have made it 6-3, like you were talking about. Sometimes you just don't need the shots. They were down 2-1 at the end of one, and they were outshot 17-2. So it's the quality of the shot, and we know. Hi, Mom. She probably sent us stars or something because I can't see. I don't see a blank. I see a blank, so I don't know if she sent us something.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't see it either.
But it's the quality of the shot. It's the quality of the shot, not the quantity at all, and that's the importance, right? But I do want to see more shots, but I also want to see more quality shots. I want to see more shots, but I want them to be quality shots. I don't want to see them take shots just to take shots. Does that make sense?
Well, look at the beginning of the season. The Blues were averaging some of the most shots by any team in the league, and it didn't really end up.
Yeah, there we go.
I have absolutely no idea what that clear was. That was.
I don't know. Who did that? I got to see that again.
Parayko, I think.
Parayko.
Parayko. I think it was Parayko. Montgomery's waving something. I think he's waving offsides, I think.
Offsides,
yeah. Offsides.
Yeah. And then it was offside.
I mean, it did look off. Well, let's see it here. We'll see it right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's off.
Yeah, it's offside.
Well, Joey called it out immediately. Yeah. Joey thought it was offsides immediately. Yeah, this looked offside, but still, though, you get the benefit of this call. This was still not a good call, a good clear by Parayko. I don't know what the hell this clear was. I don't know what he was intending to do, but this was not a good clear. Yeah. And that's something Parayko's usually pretty good at. We call that the Parayko wait behind the net.
Yeah, well,
look for something.
I call it a Parayko timeout.
Yeah, Parayko timeout. There you go. But this was still not a good clear. Right up the middle.
Yeah. It was a false alarm, but so everyone knows that I am very hard of hearing. Right. I'm not legally deaf. I got told that today, but I'm very hard of hearing. So the building has it noted that if there's an emergency, someone has to come up and knock on my door. No goal. 4 seconds back and a break. So if they come up and knock on the door, I can't ignore it. I have to leave. So I kind of got it forces my hand, right? I can't ignore an alarm. Now, when I got out there, I looked, I didn't see any smoke coming from any of the apartments, and the fire department didn't show up. That was the other thing to me. Usually the fire department shows up right away. They must have called him and told him that it was a false alarm, but I don't know why it took a while to get the alarm to stop. So that's what it was. Thanks, guys. Oh, what a shot. This re-energized them. They're getting some zone time here. Got the shots a lot closer, 7-5 now. How's that for you there, Tad? Is that the shots you kind of wanted? See, those were quality shots, though. Those were quality shots. I'm happy with those. Good defensive play by Fowler there. Some defensive breakdowns today that I'm seeing. There's one thing you hear about the Blues a lot, and I don't completely agree. I understand. I don't even know what I'm saying. One thing you hear a lot is the Blues defense sucks. The problem and the thing that unfortunately, that might have been offside. Yeah, that was Kyrie offside. The thing, there is a difference between defensive players and defensive play. Our defensive players are not bad. They are not horrible. Our defensive play could use some work. And one of the reasons our defensive play could get some work is if we had a better offensive play. Right? Who did we have on the show that brought that up? Oh, we had somebody on the show that brought that up. Who was that? Was that David?
No, I want to say. No, I don't think so. Why do I feel like it was Jim Thomas?
Yeah, it might have been Jim Thomas. Yeah.
I think it was Jim Thomas because we agreed. Most of our takes, we all kind of agreed on most of them because we were, we don't think that the Blues are that far off. And yes, I think probably the players that they have, yes, they are younger, but they do got some experienced guys back there, Parayko, Fowler. They don't have Falk anymore, but this team as individual players, I don't think are that bad. I think it's the defensive structure. I think possibly getting, I don't know who does your defensive coach work right now. Is it Julian? No, it's not called Julian. Is it? It's not called Julian.
It might be. It might be Claude Julian.
Or is it? I thought it was. I know Dave Alexander is our goalie coach. I know that. Is it Claude Julian though that is our defensive coach?
Hold on, I'll tell you.
I didn't think so. I thought he was more of our offensive guy.
Mike Weber, Claude Julian. It's either Mike Weber or Claude Julian, one of the two.
I think it's Mike Weber. I think it's Mike Weber actually. That's just me. I could be wrong, but still, I think the defensive system probably needs to change a bit, whether that be bringing in a new guy or just trying to find a different style that works. Because I individually, like I said, I think Parayko's a good defenseman. I think Broberg has shown us all that he's going to be a number one for this team. I think it's pretty evident. But
it's not the defensive players that we have. I think our defensive players are fine, right? I mean, of our defense right now, there's only two guys that I think you could upgrade, but I don't think. Oh, that was another quality shot. I don't know if it counted the shot because I think it might have hit the post, but quality attempt. There are two players I think you could upgrade without, in free agency without costing you a ton to do it. Parayko couldn't get that up. Their goalie came out of the net just enough. Cooley came out of the net just enough.
Oh,
Thomas.
I mean, you feel it though. This Blues team. I mean, they've been getting, surprisingly enough, without the guys like Falk, without Shin, this Blues team has gotten some significant zone time here since the break. I mean, significant zone time.
I don't think they're buzzing as much as I mean, they're playing better now, but they're struggling. I mean, right now, I think it's 50-50. I think Calgary's there a little bit, but they are. You're saying, that was a nice steal. That was nice.
The Blues have controlled the cycle portion of this game.
Yeah,
they gotta find the chances. They're just missing like these passes. If they get these passes to where they want them, they're shots on net and they're quality chances.
Yeah,
they're like right there. Like,
yeah,
like there. Like if they can just find the right pass and get it on the stick where they need it, they're gonna get their chances. Because as for like the cycling and getting in the zone, it feels like it's okay.
There's a mistake back of the net, and that someone's not going to be offsides.
Nope.
That one I'm going to put on Hofer. I mean, yeah, there was a mistake in the defense in front of him, but I thought he should have had that one. I'll have to see it again. I might change my mind, but right off the top, I felt like he should have had that one.
They're looking at a high stick. Zeri with a high stick, possibly. That's close. Ooh, that's close.
I don't
Oh,
know
no,
that the
that
Blues
is a
have
high
ever had
stick.
two.
That was over the shoulder. Yeah. See if we get 2 goals reversed.
Yeah, and this is important. This is not a high stick for over the post. This or over the
No,
crossbar. This is
but it's
over his shoulder.
Over the shoulder.
And yes, this is a high stick. This is a high stick. This should come back.
Yeah, that's clearly above his shoulder.
Yeah, clearly, but yeah, this is coming back. Blues are gonna get lucky again. Yeah, he definitely touches this. This is no doubt coming back.
Oh no. Oh yeah.
I think it's both. I think it's either way. It is a high stick. It should come back.
It's a high, but if the Blues touched it, then that
It doesn't. He pops. No, Zeri touches it twice. Zeri touches it first up top, and then he touches it again when it's down low.
This is going to be tough.
Yeah. This was the right call.
Oh.
This is the right call. This it touches Zeri's stick up first or up top. Maybe Pareko gets a stick on it, but you see it pop up in the air, and then it hits Zeri's stick, pops up, comes down, and then he pops, and then he hits off his stick again. Yeah, it's a good call.
Yeah, Chris, you're right. We need to score now.
Yeah. This is your time to take advantage. I mean, like I said, the Blues have had the zone time. They've been in the zone. The both of these goals have come off of
Turnover.
Pure chaos. Pure chaos turnover things. So
good save by Hofer there. Oh, it feels like they're chasing the puck right now. Good hit there. Oh, good backdoor cover. Slam that back door. Well, see, Curbs and Joey agree with me that the Blues look a step off. We're way behind. Okay. I'm just so you know, Mom. And by the way, Mom, she sent us 310 stars. Thank you for that. I greatly appreciate you. We're at the 54-second mark. Time counting. Oh, yeah, I am behind. I just caught it. Let me see if I can catch up. I'll wait till the intermission. It happens. We do the best we can. We do the best we can with what we got, and what we got sometimes ain't a lot. Oh, he should. Oh, that's going to get looked at. Nope. Thank goodness. I think he touched it in the outside of the. I thought he touched it outside the. Well, there's the end of the first. I thought he touched it outside. Jason Nichols is asking, do we really have 10 or more giveaways? I'll tell you here in a second, Jason. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have 10 hits and 10 giveaways. Calgary has 8 hits and 5 giveaways. So, I mean, right there, the giveaways, that's killing you, right? We're lucky this game isn't 3-0. We're absolutely, well, I don't know if we're lucky. Well, yeah, the challenge. If we didn't have the challenge, we'd be down 3-0.
Again, I don't mind the lucky precedent, but I don't really like the verbiage there because that's not lucky. Those were 2 plays that were deemed dead, that were the right calls, that were rightfully fixed. That's not lucky. Lucky is a Seattle goal that got not overturned for goalie interference when it was goalie interference. That is lucky. When the right call is made, that's not lucky. I'm sorry. That's not how it works.
What if instant replay wasn't there? We'd be down 3-0. We're lucky instant replay.
But that's a what if statement. That's like, what if I took a shit today, and I had no toilet paper? How would I wipe my ass? I'm saying, we can't play on what ifs. Like, I understand like the whole like lucky thing. Like, oh yes, it could be 3-0 if there was no video challenge. Then yes, you could be down 3-0. But the right call was made because like if you look at those on the instant replay, are you still telling me that those were deemed good goals? Because they weren't. It was a high stick and it was offside. So they were the right call. So technically, yes, and I guess in a stance of like team, hockey team to hockey team, it's considered lucky, but it's not really lucky because it was the right call. You see what I mean? Like lucky is, like I said, lucky is something that happens to where something like you get rewarded for something you shouldn't have got rewarded for, like the Seattle goal that they scored when they tied it up and it was goalie interference. We all know it was goalie interference, and then they called it no goalie interference. That is lucky because it wasn't the right call. So that's just my take on it. Yes, anyone can consider it lucky, but when it's the right call, I can't really see it as lucky because it was the right move.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, and it's not just you. It's Curbs and Joey though too.
Different example though. I wish you would have used a different example.
Why? That's exactly what I mean though. Like that's lucky. Like that's a team that got rewarded a free goal.
Example I'm talking about. Your original example.
Oh, taking a shit.
Yeah.
Well, but still, I'm just saying what ifs. Like you're like, oh well, what if there wasn't video replay? Well, yeah, of course there's video replay. We all know this, but even if there wasn't, then yes, you are talking about a team that is. But then you would have to reverse that because if there wasn't video review, wouldn't the Calgary Flames be lucky that there wasn't a video review because what they did was not in the rule books. So technically, them getting 2 goals for something that they shouldn't have got 2 goals for is lucky, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, it does go both ways. All right.
But yeah. All right. Pop. All right. Actually, you know what? Hang on. I'll be right back.
Okay. Jeremy Rutherford says, and see, I kind of agree with this, right? Says, he says, neither overturned goal should have counted, but first Parayko turnover crossed up with Tucker unless he was looking further up the ice. Second, Parayko rims the puck, turning it over. Flames get through the neutral zone easy with the Blues changing, several players watching. There you go. And I guess Jack Hughes came out and said something about the puck drama. Obviously, he's honored that the puck's there. It's like the most special place in hockey. So yeah, I'm honored that it's there. Obviously, I think things were taken crazy this week. That's just the way I felt. People did go a little nutso over that. And one day, I hope very soon we learn how to not take everything so political, and remember that there's always different perspectives, right? Because, and you look at this, right? When there's a monumental goal, it goes to the player first. And then the player has the right to keep it or to give it to the Hall of Fame, right? It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Mark McGuire's balls, The high stick, if Parayko would have touched that would have been the end. That would no longer have been a high stick. Oh, Parayko was just, oh man, I don't know what he was doing there. Well, it is what it is. Ryan Green says, uncensored live reaction. I thought this was a XXX episode. No, PG-13. PG-13. As long as we don't use the F word, we're not R yet, but PG-13 rated. I'll give that one. Definitely PG-13 rated. Welcome back. Let's see. Let's cover. So the score is 1-0. I got too many things on here. Score is 1-0. The goal was by Zari at the 2:34 mark. Just some bad defensive play again. One penalty in the game at 10-10. Suter for hooking. Shots were 11-8 in favor of Calgary. Other than that, we can look at here attempts. The Blues had 12 attempts. Calgary had 19 attempts. 11 hits for St. Louis, 8 for Calgary. 11 giveaways for St. Louis, 5 for Calgary. St. Louis had 1 takeaway. Calgary had none. St. Louis had 4 block shots. Calgary had 1. Face-off, St. Louis won that 11-7, 61% to 39%. I think we should be a G-rated show with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. I can actually talk like Donald Duck. This is an AHL flame team.
What do you say, Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck?
Duck, yeah.
Yeah, Donald Duck. Oh boy!
Oh man, that hurts. I used to be able to do that well.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's very good for the throat.
No, it gives me a headache actually.
Yeah.
I used to be able to do it really good. In fact, I'll tell a quick story. And the distance we become says this is an AHL Flames team. I'll agree with. Well, I mean, not completely. Ryan Green.
Look,
says, that sounded good to me.
Look, it like I said, this is why I don't like the prospect of tanking, because no man who does a job, this is their job, whether you guys like to believe it or not. This is their job, just like we have 9-to-5 jobs. They're not going to come in and say, I'm just going to purposely be bad at my job. So that's why I don't like the word tank, because no team
no individual player, especially, wants to just come in and purposely lose.
Yeah,
So-
I agree with you on that. Ryan Green asked an interesting question. He says, and I'll tell my story later, I guess. What's a successful off season to you this summer?
Whose question was this?
Ryan Green. What's a successful off season to you this summer? You want to take that first, or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
I think a successful offseason is going to be a good first round draft, however you do it. If you take 3 players, you get somebody that's 2 years out, not 3 years out, I would hope, like Dvorsky was, or something like that. That Carbonneau is ready for the NHL, that he's ready to come up, that you're good there, and that you figure you kind of have a better understanding of your goalie situation, right? Is Bennington lost a step? Is he still the Bennington of old, or is it time to give him space? Give him some space and let him move on and put somebody else there. And if you do, I still think it needs to be a veteran presence, at least for one more year before because I don't think Love Hamstrom's ready. He's probably needs a couple of years in AHL before he's ready. It's gonna be, for me, a successful offseason is gonna be where you come in next year saying we are trying to be a top 3 team. We're trying to be top 3 in the division. That's a successful offseason to me. Justin?
See, now mine could rather ruffle some feathers. For me, depending on your return, I think we talked about this a lot. Bennington could be a guy that could be on the move at the draft, if you were going to move him to get, moved up or something in the draft if you wanted. But it's all about the return for me. I've been on this show numerous times, and I'm not going to change my stance. If you want to talk about the 2 biggest fishes on this team, it's Robert Thomas and it's Jorden Kyrou. And although if you want to really come back and circle back on those guys, I really don't want to get rid of those guys. But if you're going to circle back on them, it depends on the return. Now, if you're getting a return that is just picks, a possibility of moving up in the draft, like say like a team wants Robert Thomas, a team that is in the bottom, top 5 or whatever like that, and you want to move up, and Robert Thomas is their ask. I'm sorry, I want Ivar Stenberger on this team, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. So it would have to be, if I'm trading either one of those guys, it would have to be a serviceable return where an NHL ready guy is coming back in return. And I'm going to still say this. I love Jorden Kyrou, but Jorden Kyrou to me is a guy that I think moving him would benefit his career solo and the Blues career for the future. And I'm not saying that because I think Jorden Kyrou is a bad player. I don't. I think he's been very, very good on both sides of the puck. But he's a guy that I think needs a change of scenery. And I think it's been more and more evident the more and more you watch Jorden Kyrou, not, from lack of effort or anything like that. But I'm still in the boat. If you can make something work with like a Dallas Stars team and somehow pull it off, which I don't think it's going to happen, if you can pull off a situation where Kyrou goes back into a mismatch of a package for Jason Robertson to come over to St. Louis, and you have Jason Robertson over in St. Louis, and you have Jorden Kyrou go back to Dallas, and obviously that's not going to be the whole trade. You'd have to, what's the word? You'd have to really,
you're going to have to add something to that.
Yeah, you'd have to sweeten the pot a little bit.
Yeah,
but that is a guy that is NHL ready right now that I would be like, okay, I can be okay with parting ways with Robert or with Jordan Kyrou because I'm getting a guy in return that can play now and
Yeah.
can play with Robert Thomas.
His next comment, or the second comment, and not his next one, but he says he's playing like he knows he's gone or wants to go this summer. I don't agree with that. I don't think he is.
I don't think so. And I don't necessarily think he's going to be gone, but I'm thinking the long term. I'm thinking the long game with the St. Louis Blues. If you're wanting to go with the future and like I said, I love Jordan Kyrou. I think that he's become a very, very good player for this team. He's only got better year by year, especially with his defensive ability, his back checking, his forechecking. I think his whole game has improved, but sadly, I think he's at the point in his career where he should be a little further along than where he is. And I think that it has to do with some of the Blues fans, especially. Blues fans have been the death of Jordan Kyrou a little bit. And Jordan Kyrou, I think he could produce a bit more. But I think that it might be beneficial for both parties to say, hey, you know what? I love it here in St. Louis. Kyrou, we know you're a great player, but here we need to move you, and we need to move you for an asset that we can get back that can move this franchise forward.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
But I'm not saying you say that word for word verbatim. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying. Like, know, I'm not saying like you would go to Jordan Kyrou. Okay, Jordan Kyrou, we need an asset in return. Okay, please lift your no trade clause. Like, we need you to go. We need you to get the hell out of here. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that all these players know. It's just like the same with Parayko. Parayko knows that this is a business. It may have hurt his feelings a little bit that how that trade came through and broke, but that was Buffalo media, breaking that too soon. Yeah. So that wasn't Blues media breaking that. That was Buffalo. So I think that all these players know it's a business. And would it be my first move for Jordan Kyrou to be moved off this team? No, it wouldn't. I think Jordan Kyrou gets a lot of undeserved hate. I really do. But I think it could be beneficial if he is off this team.
I disagree with so he's got two more comments and I tell you what, he said fans want an honest, hardworking effort. That's all. And Kyrou is an obvious issue for that for years. No, he's not. I'll tell you what's the issue is that the media makes him out to be that. I'm telling you this. I know this for a fact that no one in the media, except maybe one guy, the majority of the media does not like Kyrou. They just do not like him. And they bang on him every sense. If the media didn't do that, people wouldn't bang on him. Right? And I'll tell you what, you want to know how I can prove this a little bit? Look at the article that Rutherford just did on Jake Neighbors. That was, I don't even want to say it. He slobbed the knob on Jake Neighbors all in that article. But he's never done something like that with Kyrou. All he's done is write negative articles or put out that he said before this or after this warm-up skate that this isn't my coach anymore. A tweet that shouldn't even have been put out at that time, right? And because of that, there's been so much hate. And then, I found that video I want to show. Well, in the second intermission, I'll show it. And it shows how the media thinks about Kyrou. And that has everything about how
why was that not a penalty?
I didn't even see it yet. I'm
Holloway gets cross-checked down. I don't know why that was not a penalty.
I'm not even I just seen puck drop.
Oh. Yeah.
There we go. Just a little behind. There we go. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was a crush. I don't know why it wasn't called, but it's whatever. Yeah, no, you can continue what you're saying. You saw a video that you're gonna post in the second intermission.
Yeah, no, we're gonna at the second intermission. I'm gonna show a video, and I think it was on the morning after, and it was Jeremy Rutherford, and I forget who the other guy was. I don't know his name because I'm not in St. Louis, so I don't know all these guys' names. He says, Guy, don't blame the media for everything you can't explain. I'm telling you, I know this for a fact. The media doesn't care about Jordan Kyrou. They do not like him at all. At all. I know this. For me, I see it on the ice. It's so easy to give up. The opposition takes the puck. He has always been an issue for me. I love Kyrou, but damn it. Give up and let the guy skate away with it. I don't think he does that. I mean, I think you're. I don't know. I don't want to get in it with somebody right now. Man, it's like with Sanford. I mean, it's not like when we had Sanford. Sanford made those mistakes all the time, and the coaching staff just loved him, and nothing ever happened because of it, But Kyrou made the same mistake, same season, same mistake, and you immediately hear the media and the coaching staff signaling out Kyrou.
Now, I will say, like I said before, I love Jordan Kyrou too. But like I said, Jordan Kyrou is a guy that he should be a lot further along than where he is. He's like I said, he's improved every season, I think, as a Blue. But it should not, no Blues fan who has watched should deny that he should be farther along than where he is. He should be.
Right in the gut.
Klapka.
He took an 80-mile-an-hour snapshot right in the gut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that knocked the wind out of him on that one. No, like I said, Jordan Kyrou is a guy that I don't want to see gone from this team. I want him to be here when the Blues are competitive again. But again, I'm also in the boat where I could see him being moved for a piece that can play now, just to further along, further better his individual career and the Blues heading into the future. Yeah. But I can also
see, I have a thought process about what happened. And he says, I'm saying an honest comments. And I get it, Ryan. I understand you are. I just don't agree with them. That's all. And your opinion is your opinion, and you have every right to it. And I post your comments because you have every. Oh, here we go. Holloway gets one. You're muted, bud.
No, I know I'm muted. You must have reset your shit, and you were like 15 seconds ahead of me. So
yeah.
Good goal by Holloway. Just sneaks through the goalie. The goalie probably wants that one back. He was right there for it, but it just finds holes again. This first line, Thomas and Snuggerud getting another assist. This line has been excellent. It's been. I don't know it off the top of my head, but this line, since the break, has probably been one of the better lines in the NHL, probably points-wise.
Yeah, you might be right.
So it's a line that you love to see. You love to see Holloway come back, and you're starting to see that guy who's wanting that $7 million. I don't know if the Blues give it to him, because he's so injury prone. I don't know why that's not that should most definitely be a penalty right there. I don't know what we're doing.
No,
but,
actually, I looked at that. Lance, I don't think they're making the playoffs even if they win it. Right? I mean, they just can't. You can't lose any games, and it's not going to happen.
The Calgary game, like if there's any game, like I'm still a believer. Okay, the teams that the Blues are playing here in the month of March here, the end of the month. Oh, here we go. Klapka, neighbors, not having any of it. I don't know. This is what I'm talking about. Klapka, he should have got a penalty because he's towers over neighbors and he grabs neighbors by the throat pretty much, gets him in a headlock and just tosses him down. I don't know why it wasn't a penalty. Neighbors takes exception of it, and that's why he's a fan favorite, man. That's why Neighbors is a fan favorite to most Blues fans. And Neighbors doing this, which is funny, which is probably him saying, "Hey, use your effing brain next time, buddy."
Hey, Kelsey, how are you?
So let's see here. I
Welcome.
think they're going to show it on the replay. Oh no, they just go right to the scrum. They should have shown what targeted this, because what targets this
yeah,
is.
they just did show it, but I didn't see it. I saw the back end of it.
Oh, they're gonna give Neighbors a penalty, but not Klapka, right?
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me.
Color me shocked. Yeah, no, yeah, it doesn't surprise me either. Any way that the NHL cannot fix their shitty consistency.
Well,
okay.
Actually, so I'm going to
Now they're showing it.
Color you shocked. I'm going to kind of stick up for the NHL on this one. Almost every time the guy that responds gets the penalty. Almost every single time, Neighbors responded. Right? Looks like there might be. Is he in the box or no?
They showed.
Yeah, he's in the box.
Look, that's fine, but Neighbors responds to something, and this was, huh?
They're both. They got Jorden in the box for. Oh, we're getting two of them here.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Yeah, but we're gonna talk about how the league is great, right?
Prospelli in the box for roughing, Neighbors in the box for roughing, and Jorden in the box. So they did go on the power play. And I don't know what Druin's in the box for. My guess it's going to be roughing. Calgary on their second power play. They're 0 for 1. They had 2 shots on the first one. It might be a third shot. Don't know if that counted as a shot or not. Oh, here we go. Shorthanded 2-on-1. Oh, who was that? Suter? Yeah. Suter was just turned around the wrong way. Hope you're doing good out there, Kelsey.
Jesus Christ, you're like fucking 25 seconds ahead of me. Jesus Christ.
Can you try and put yours on live? So for me, what happens, I get behind. So if I
yeah, I know you get behind and then you go ahead and then you're like 30 seconds ahead of me.
I can go back to live. Usually the commercials. I can't wait to be on your pod either. I think we got a good topic to talk about too. At least it's going to be fun for me. Because Kelsey, can I talk about what we're going to talk about, or you want me to or is it like a secret or whatever? Let me know. Shorthanded chain. Oh no, full strength. They killed that off. Only allowed 1 shot on that one. Go ahead. Okay. We're going to talk about the Untold series, and the episode I picked was from a couple of years ago. It was the girlfriend that wasn't there, the Manti Te'o story. And I'm interested in this one for a couple of different reasons. One, Manti Te'o's from Hawaii, so they made a big deal about it when he signed and all of that stuff, and it made a big deal about that. But there's some other things in this that don't get explored that I'd like to explore. right? And one of the things that kind of needs to be explored is how the media used Manti Te'o to build him up, and then that same media tore him apart, which if they wouldn't have used him, wouldn't have had to build him up, wouldn't have it anyways. So that's the way I feel about it. It's 1-1 with 11:52 going in the second. Shots are 16-10 in favor of Calgary. They are 5-2 this period with the same favor. Did I give too much away, Kelsey? What do you think about that there, Justin?
Yeah, no, it's not too bad. I like I said, that's kind of your guys' thing. I guess you kind of you talked about that. I don't know anything about that. I mean, I knew what she kind of did and what everything like that, but that's cool. It's cool.
Do you know about the Manti Te'o story?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so Manti Te'o was out of Hawaii, went to Punahou School, was a highly touted linebacker and running back. He ends up signing with Notre Dame. He's a Mormon, so everyone thought he was going to go to BYU, but he ends up signing with Notre Dame. And while he's at Notre Dame, he starts setting all kinds of records. And then he has he was a very public catfishing victim. Yeah. And well, Justin, you'll just have to listen to the episode and we'll talk about that. And, I understand a lot of the things that went down with that. I really do. Since December 1st, Hofer's third in save percentage in the league. Right? That's kind of incredible, man. Oh, we got some more. We got some likes I didn't see. Gary Tackett, Mom, Cindy Lou, and Lips. Thank you, buddy. I want to get that video ready. Pretty sure this is it. Yeah. So this was a reel from STL Sports Central that was on Facebook. And STL Sports Central is like one of the radio stations or something like that. I think it's like ESPN 101's podcast, one of their podcasts. No, not the Hoff Athletic thing. That was, that's nothing. That was just kind of funny. Oh, he's lucky that didn't go in the back of the net. I wonder where our turnovers are. Turnovers were 11 after the first period. They're better this time. We've only had one giveaways. We only had one giveaway so far. Oh, nobody picked up the pass. Nobody picked up the pass. That was, oh my goodness. Nobody picked up the pass. That's bad defensive play there. 2 guys on the shooter. Oh, are we going to see our third challenge? Oh, wow. That's offsides.
Had been offside.
What's the record for the most challenge?
Watch right here at
Well,
the blue line. It was close. We're going to see it from a
Oh,
different
my.
angle.
What'd they say?
I
Right,
said I was
so-
wondering what the challenge. I was wondering what the challenge limit is.
Yeah. So in the NHL, you get 1 challenge, 1 unsuccessful challenge.
No,
Oh, yeah.
I meant how many. I said I wonder how many. Like, what's the record for how many no
Three,
goals
probably
allowed
3 or
on a
4. Oh, no goals? I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's off. Yeah, he's off. He's
cleared,
off.
Yeah.
Yep, he's off.
It's
Wow,
that-
oh my God.
Frame. It's that half a frame. Three goals called back. Holy cow. Yes, as long as they're successful, they can keep challenging. And that was close too, so you can't blame the linesman for missing that one. The first one the linesman should have had.
You can
And the high
you
stick,
can
the high stick, I think they should have had.
look. You can Calgary fans, they're not going to like it. 3 goals called back. You're not going to like it, but it doesn't matter. They're the right calls. They are the right calls. Absolutely.
That was on Broberg, by the way. Broberg was definitely not where he
I mean,
should have been.
it was a miscommunication between Broberg and Mayu, both defensemen.
Fight.
Dude, you're like fucking 87 seconds ahead of me, dude.
I'm at 10:04. Well, 10:04 is where the fight happens.
Have your attention, please.
Son of a
May I
bitch.
have your attention, please? A fire emergency has been reported in the building. Please leave.
Okay, I'm going to have to pull out. I'm not going to leave yet. I'm not going to leave. I'm going to check things out and make sure that there isn't an actual fire. Okay?
May I have your
Okay, they cleared it. There's a lot going on here. I don't know. I see Tucker and Ball getting penalties. You're muted.
Yes, thank you. Tucker's going to get the extra, of course, but then again, like I said, you look at this play. Farabee does nothing, but Farabee also is to blame for this because Farabee does go into Tucker. He clears day. He purposely he knows what he's doing. I mean, he absolutely knows what he's doing. He skates into Tucker. He doesn't do anything. That I will say, he doesn't do anything. But he goes in like he is going to fight Tyler Tucker and then doesn't. So kind of on Farabee. Definitely Tucker was frustrated though from the initial call.
Yeah. No power play. Oh, incidental minors. Haven't seen that for a while. Wow. No power play. Wow, I haven't seen incidental minors for a long time. Normally, I would think 4-4, but this is both for roughing. They had Tucker for kneeing, but they took it away. I guess they took it away. Chippy game right now. It's going to get worse, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't explain it very well either, Kelsey. Oh, come on.
Yeah, this game's gonna get ugly. Coleman with a dirty, cheap shot behind the net on Lindstein. It's gonna get ugly. This is gonna get ugly very, very soon.
One thing the Blues are doing, they are absolutely leaving clear passing lanes open. I mean, really clear. They've got, so I don't understand this. So on the score sheet, they've got Tucker listed with 2 penalties, a kneeing and a roughing. And only 1 for Farabee for roughing, so I don't get it. I'm guessing that'll come off. Yeah, it seems like coincidental minors are offsetting penalties, yeah. Really surprising to me. Well, now we're at a hold on a sec. We're at a commercial break. Let me go ahead and show this video. If I should have pulled it up already. I'm going to pull this up. Here we go. This is the video I was talking about. Oh, I got to turn the volume on. Where's the volume? Hold on. I don't know where the volume is. Oh, here it is. There we go.
Jordan Kyrou at all. But I wonder now, with the way the salary is, with the way the team is, with the way that player has been, I wonder if he's going to be affected by a lack of ice time, or if he's just going to say, what the hell, I got my money. I already got one coach whacked, and said, well, he's not my coach. I wonder, based upon my observation, I wonder how much he really cares about getting benched.
I think that's a legitimate observation because Tom Stillman, the chairman of the Blues, and Doug Armstrong, that's one of the things that really angers me about this group and previous Blues groups. The owner is and his partners are totally committed to doing whatever they have to do to build and maintain a great team, a great roster, or very good at least. Mm-hmm. Armstrong's an aggressive GM. Armstrong also goes out of his way to get his guys paid. Like he leaves no doubt whatsoever how he feels about Thomas and Kyrou, and we can name a bunch of others. Mm-hmm. He doesn't just
We'll come back to that. Get back to the game, but yeah, I mean, right there at the very beginning of that proved that completely, like, to me, proved my point. It absolutely covered my point. With how that was started. And I don't know who the other guy is. I know that's Bernie Malayzik in the bottom. Who's the guy on the top? I don't know who that is. Does anybody know? Are you ready, Justin? Come back. There you go. Tucker's dropping was offsides. That's pretty good, Matlow. I still don't understand the score sheet, man, but it is what it is. We'll do what we can. Figure it out. I don't know how he got the 2 without having the power play. The extra 2 without there being a power play. Randy and Bernie. Yes, I am. I guess that's who it is. That's a yes. I am calling out those 2. Calling them out, absolutely. Because that's a bad narrative. It's a bad narrative. And to
May I have your attention, please?
I'm just going to turn my mic down for now. Oh, no, it went away. They must be down there working on it. Ooh, good shot there. Souths are 5-4 this period. Blues have caught up. Well, think about this. Calgary has 3 shots that don't count. Ooh, there's another one. What it seems like when the Blues are taking those shots, they're taking them too soon. They're taking them before the other guy can get there for the rebound, right? And maybe that's wrong. Yeah, I guess Matlow, that's who I'm calling out. To sit there and say, does Jordan Kyrou care about why is that a question that had to be had, right? And then the narrative in and of itself. Oh, I wish I could go on. I really wish I could go on with these guys. Really do. I wish I was enough in the media that I could go on with these guys because no. Are you listening to yourself? You're selling your narrative. You're not selling the truth. Oh, what a shot.
Well, granted, why that is fine to me. Like I said, I don't disagree with either side. I don't agree 100% with either side, but it's, your truth. The devil's advocate to me is your truth may not be their truth, just like their truth is not your truth. So everybody has different opinions. We talk about that a lot.
There's different perspectives, but the truth is the truth, right? To sit there and say, he says, I already got one, like Kyrou's saying, I already got one coach whacked. No, Kyrou's not saying that, and he's never said that. But he's taking the quote that was out of context to begin with and was asked at the wrong time and using that to set that up. And that's the issue that I have. Matlow, no player gives you 100% 82 games. None. Right? That there's an unfair. I'm sorry. I know this. The media. And I heard it. I heard it with my own 2 fucking ears. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I heard it with my own 2 deaf ears, like that. Hearing aids on, standing right in front of them, getting a question answered that I asked. And it immediately, the question wasn't even about Kyrou. but it got turned to Kyrou. I do not know. I'm sure someone will bring it up. But it's got 3 might be the number. That might tie the record. Because remember, originally you only got 1 challenge, period. That was it. Right? And then they changed it to where as long as you were successful, you got to keep challenging. But actually, see, that's the other thing that they did when they added this penalty for delay a game if you were unsuccessful. You also lose your challenge. So it's triple. You have 3 things happening to you. Well, so I'm going to contradict myself a little bit here. What you think is 100% and what that athlete thinks is 100% are 2 totally different things. Right? Did Brett Hull, and I'm going to bring that, did Brett Hull give 100% on the ice every time he was out there? That's a fair question. I know the answer to it. Good save by Hofer there.
Sometimes players may not be up to the stuff, but I mean, when I think about players that give 100%, I mean, you talk about the guys who are the real producers, the real superstars of this league. I mean, you think about the Nathan McKinnons, you think about the Connor McDavids, you think about the Sidney Crosbys, the Nikita Kucherovs. Although they may not be on the board, all the time, and in every single game, they are players that I can go out there and say that they do tend to show up every game. They do try to show up every game. And obviously, you're going to have games where you don't get on the board or you don't score or you don't get an assist. But it is very hard to say that everybody puts in 100% every single game. But I do think that there is players in the league that do play at an extremely high level, that are very competitive, that are noticeable every night. The guys that I just listed to you are guys that I notice every single game.
Yeah.
That they never disappear on the ice.
And I absolutely get that. Okay. But for people to sit there and think that, they're the perception by people, and it comes from the media, is that Kyrou doesn't give 100% every night. I don't think that that's true, because you know what? Every player gets beat. Every player makes a mistake, right? And also, I think that you want to know what the biggest thing with Kyrou is? And God, I don't even know if I should go off on this freaking, I don't know if it's a tangent or a rabbit hole, whatever we want to call it. You know what the biggest problem with Kyrou is? He's had too many coaches that have tried to change his style. Instead of coaches just letting him play, he's had too many coaches that tried to change his style. And I'll tell you what, when you try and I was a cross-country runner, and I was a dang good one. My coach decided to change my style. He wanted to change my style. And in changing my style, I tore my meniscus. I was out the entire year. I lost almost a year of running. Right? Because of that. Almost a whole year. And back then they didn't do anything. You just let it heal on its own. Right? I didn't even I knew I tore it, but we didn't do anything with it. Put me in a hot tub and in a cold tub, in a hot tub and in a cold tub. That was it. Got to make it a thing because I said it. No, actually, we were talking about this. Matt Lowe, you're not the one that brought this up. Actually, it was Ryan Green that brought it up. And that's why I was playing the video.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not like I said, I've already given my stance on Kyrou where I stand with him. I want him to be on this team when this team's competitive, but I can also see the appeal on why some people would say that Jordan Kyrou, possibly, like I said, being off this team would open up himself for a more fruitful career as an individual, and the Blues would be going in a more fruitful direction for the future. So I can see both sides. I can sit here and say I'm not going to disagree with one side, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to disagree with the other side.
Yeah. We got Switzerland over here. Justin's being me for a change.
Well, but it's true though. I feel like you would be Guy. I feel like you would be lying to yourself if you're going to sit here and say that Jordan Kyrou, like I said, and I don't think that you have said that, but here in recent stretches, especially, there's no way you can sit here and tell me that Jordan Kyrou is where he should be right now in his career.
No, and here's and this is why right there. Coaches want him to play D and try to coach the skill out of him. That's why, right there. And I've said that for a while. Shocky, how long have I been saying that, Shock Man? How long have I been saying that? Giving myself a freaking headache. See, Matt Lowe thinks I'm just arguing because it's him, and it's not. This was brought up by Ryan Green earlier. Here we go. This was earlier from today. We were talking about Kyrou, and his comment was, he's playing like he knows he's gone or wants to go this summer. And that's where all this Kyrou talk came up. Fans want an honest, hardworking effort. That's all. And Kyrou is an obvious issue for that for years. And that's where all of this came up from. Oh, yeah. We finally got a power play. That was an absolute slash. Here we go. See if we can do something.
And again, I say the Blues get another power play, and it's almost the third period. I mean, I don't know how anyone expects this team to get any sort of established power play when they have one power play, and the one power play they get is in the second, late in the second, or in the third period. I don't understand it. This is not just the first game. This is like the third or fourth consecutive game where this has happened.
Oh, just missed. So here we go. This is how long I've been talking about that. Since the bubble. Right? Since 2020, 21, the 21 season. That's how long I've been talking about this. Are you still there, Matt Lowe?
Curbs, or Joey just talked about it. Is just talking about it.
I've got to turn down.
He just talked about it. He literally just said the same thing I just said. The Blues have been getting power plays in the last few minutes of the second period or in the third period. And by the time they get a power play, the ice is already broken up. It's bad. The ice is bad.
Yeah.
There's no momentum. Joey just said the same thing I've been saying.
Kyrou would be a 100-point player. We've been projecting him if he had the mindset Ryan was referring to. Here's my thing. The mindset that Ryan's referring to him as is a two-way player, and he's not. He's never been. He's never gonna be. And if he's a two-way player, there's no way he's going to be a 100-point player. Kelsey's asking what was the 21 bubble. The 21 was the season where the COVID season, the shortened COVID season. Careful, I'm still here. No, I mean, you're fine. You guys are all fine. You absolutely know that your opinions are valid, and they are. What is bubble, if not obvious description? Feel free to save my question for an idiot's corner. No, that's fine, Kelsey. We're in the second period anyways, or in the second intermission.
Well, now you can play it. Now you can play it if you want.
I'm going to play the whole video. Stand by. I'm going to play the whole video here. All right, here's the whole video.
Jordan Kyrou at all. But I wonder now, with the way the salary is, with the way the team is, with the way that player has been, I wonder if he's going to be affected by a lack of ice time, or if he's just going to say, what the hell, I got my money. I already got one coach whacked, and said, well, he's not my coach. I wonder, based upon my observation, I wonder how much he really cares about getting benched.
I think that's a legitimate observation because Tom Stillman, the chairman of the Blues, and Doug Armstrong, that's one of the things that really angers me about this group and previous Blues groups. The owner is, and his partners are totally committed to doing whatever they have to do to build and maintain a great team, a great roster, or very good at least. Mm-hmm. Armstrong's an aggressive GM. Armstrong also goes out of his way to get his guys paid. Like he leaves no doubt whatsoever how he feels about Thomas and Kyrou, and we can name a bunch of others. Mm-hmm. He doesn't just believe in them by praising them. He believes in them by showing them the money. These fans are fantastic. Mm-hmm. They're great. And I know that the Blues and the Cardinals have a lot of shared fans, but Blues fans, no matter what, just show up and they're passionate. They get mad, as they should. They get frustrated, as they should. But at a time where the Cardinals aren't drawing right, fans have just said, we're done with this for now. Blues fans just keep charging into the Enterprise Center. So I'm thinking about here's the owner committed to these guys, the general manager strongly committed to these guys, the fans remain fully committed to these guys. Do these guys realize they have an obligation to be just as committed to those people as everyone else is committed to them?
It's a great question.
I mean, it really is maddening. I mean, it's like, who the hell do they think they are?
Jordan Kyrou at all.
So I took three things out of that right at the end, talking about being committed. You're not being committed. You're doing the exact opposite. You're banging on them. You're saying that they don't care, that they're not committed. Where's any player said that? Where's any player absolutely showed that? Right? Jordan Kyrou doesn't talk to the media because Jordan Kyrou doesn't talk to the media. The media doesn't like Jordan Kyrou. I know that for a freaking fact. I know it for an absolute fact. So why does that? So if you understand that, if you see that, what they just said there and how they said it, how they framed it, does that change your perspective at all? Right? Because remember, this is the thing. That was framed. That was framed. Right?
Well, again,
no, neither one haven't. They're both just media guys. Sorry.
Again, I'm gonna. I like I said, I'm not gonna take. I've given my thoughts on Jordan Kyrou, and I'm gonna stick with them just because of that's how I am. I'm not gonna turn back on my word or anything that I've said. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here and also say that I will say that I did agree with the approach of St. Louis Blues fans, mixed with some Cardinals fans. The Cardinals going through a rebuild. Blues, Cardinals, kind of different situations. Not really kind of different, though. The Blues, obviously, more in a forward trajectory. The Cardinals are starting their rebuild. But the St. Louis faithful show up. regardless whether the Blues are bad, whether the Blues are good. And I said this before, that the Blues fans always show up. They always show up, whether they're bad, whether they're good. But as for the question itself, do I think Kairu's given up, just giving up and just taking his paycheck and go home? No, I don't particularly think I've seen that. I think I still see a kid that has a lot of potential, has a lot of skill. But I also don't think that the question is that far off. Look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I want to bring this up because it's a fair question. What have the Toronto Maple Leafs accomplished, in the Austin Matthews era? They've accomplished nothing. They've become a bunch of rich, spoiled NHL hockey players that don't really give a shit, and it shows. The Toronto Maple Leafs, you look at the players that they have on their team, and it shows. So I think the question of, has someone given up effort and just taken the paycheck and go home, is not that far off. Do I think it's range true for Jordan Kyrou? Not really. But there is teams and there is players in the NHL that do have that mentality of just take the paycheck and just go home. The Toronto Maple Leafs is a perfect example of that. I think the Toronto Maple Leafs and their players, I don't think they care, and I think that shows on the ice. I really do. Look at how they responded when Austin Matthews got injured. They should have responded. No one on the Toronto Maple Leafs responded to their star player, their star guy getting hurt in Toronto.
That's the locker room there. That's that locker room that's been lost. That's a team that doesn't care about each other anymore.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. They don't care about protecting each other. They care about getting their paycheck and going home, and it shows. I don't think that's a Jordan Kyrou issue per se.
What is a streamer? What is a streamer? I don't know. It says Kyrou wants to be a streamer. I don't know what that is.
Oh, he mean probably. I don't know if he means like gaming streamer, like a streamer, like kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Like
okay. No. Yeah, no.
Yeah, like a
so
streamer.
hold on. That's something Kyrou was asked. This was a Blues media. I know what he's talking about now, right? The Blues media, Blues Productions asked players, if they weren't hockey players, what would they be doing? And he said, I don't know, maybe I'd be a game streamer. I don't think that means he wants to be a game streamer, right? Chris Shockey says, Toronto, except this season, is scared. They've been top of the league and top goal scorers in the league. I agree. I agree with both of this, right? I do agree with some of what you're saying, but I don't agree with all of what you're saying.
What?
Hold on. I want to get to the comment. Commitment to the BueNote. So Ryan Green says, lack of effort, late starts, no energy. That's exactly the lack of commitment. I don't think that is. I think there's other things involved. Commitment to the BueNote and its history. If you only have a couple of guys that are all in, and there are guys that show up to the game when they want to, that bleeds into the rest of the roster. You get exactly what this team has done, barely 500 for 4 years, and I'm tired of it. And I'm sick and tired of Andy Strickland. I don't know where that coming. Basically you, Guy. I'm not. What do you mean there? What do you mean that by that, Ryan? I mean, that sounds like a dig at me, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I understand both sides, but again, like I said, I'm not going to say the question of is taking the money and just kind of playing out your time. I'm not going to take that as a stupid narrative because it is a narrative that has been talked about in the league, and it's not just with Jordan Kyrou. Like I said, I brought up a good point with Toronto players. It's happened. So the narrative of players taking their money and just kind of phoning it in is a valid question. It is, but I haven't got to that point where I'm like, oh, I think Jordan Kyrie's phoning it in. I don't think that's the case, but I do think Jordan Kyrou needs to be further along than where he is right now.
So Matlow says this. I do agree he should be further along, but I don't put that on Kyrou. I put that on the coaches that have tried to change his game.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, if you go to work, no, because I seen your look when I said that.
Yeah,
right.
But
you disagree with me.
Right? I feel like you harp on this too much. We've had so Drew Bannister, he came in and then Montgomery took over, and Montgomery's been here since the takeover, and he's been here the whole season. At some point the coach narrative has got to die. I mean, it's got to die a little bit. I mean, he's had the same coach now for. I mean, it's not been a crazy length of time, but he's had Jim Montgomery here, so I feel like the length of time, the narrative has to go away a little bit.
This season, every player is down offensively. We talked about that with Jim Thomas. Every player is down offensively this season. So one of the things that got brought up, no, she didn't. They traded away leadership. That is not a sign they're working on the culture. Actually, I don't completely agree with. I understand what you're saying, but I do think they're working on the culture, and I'm wondering if the reason that they traded away the guys they traded away was they were anti what the culture they wanted. Right? That's what I'm wondering. Is it possible that Shen and Falk playing a defensive style in an offensive system the problem? And has it been a problem all season? We saw at the beginning of the season these guys taking a lot of shots, trying to be offensive, and it didn't work right away. Well, okay, but then it got shifted right away within 2 or 3 games to a defensive system. I asked if you thought the front office is disconnected with the players. No, I don't. I do not think that, and I didn't see that question, and I apologize. I used the Midwest double negative. I meant yes. It seems like a sign they're changing the culture. Okay.
The Blues are like I said, Shin and Falk. I don't think the reason was that they're changing the culture. I think the reason. I mean, Shin and Falk were the main guys to go anyways. They're getting older. They want to play playoff hockey. The Blues were not sniffing the playoffs or anything like that. They haven't had the year that they wanted. But the trade, I think, solidified the new guard or the old guard permanently transitioning into the new guard. And I think that is showing with what we're seeing on the ice right now with Thomas playing. Thomas has really stepped up again. Snuggerud's been great. Holloway's been great. The team as a whole, it has a different feel. Now, do I think that when Shin and Falk were here that the Blues have played good games and they lost them? Absolutely. But there's something new. There's a new feeling to this team. And it feels like I just said, it feels like the new guard.
What is the new feeling? It's offensive. It's not playing defensive hockey.
I don't necessarily agree with that either because they played good defensive hockey as well sometimes in some of these games that we've seen. So it has a new feel. I don't think everything has to be, they're just playing offensive. You just said it. I'm gonna put yourself on a contradictory standpoint here. You just said, the Blues were, putting an offensive standpoint in the beginning of the season where they were getting 40 shots in a game. It wasn't working. So that was offensive.
There was no trust to the process. And it switched really quickly. There was no trust to the process. I mean, we've talked about you can take 50 shots a game, but if they're not all from high quality areas, right? There was a lot of stuff that was happening early in the season. This locker room did not gel. Something happened. They didn't gel. Shen and Falk leave, and this team is gelling now. At least I think they are. I mean, they outplayed Winnipeg. They outplayed Winnipeg 80%, 99% of that game and lost 3-2. I was okay with that loss because they outplayed them. They're not outplaying them tonight, but they're playing with them. They're getting outplayed a little bit, but they're tied 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, there's been games this year where the Blues have outplayed their opponents and lost. A lot of it happened in the beginning of the season when the Blues were getting a lot of shots, and it felt like the Blues were getting their chance, and they weren't just getting like just outside shots. They were getting slot shots. They were getting high danger chances and just getting a lot of shots on it and losing games. It happened a lot in the beginning portions of this season. So, like I said, for me, it's an anomaly season. For the Blues, it's an anomaly. For some of the other teams, it's an anomaly. Some of the teams that you expected to be bad are not playing poorly, and some of the teams that you expected to be good are not performing well. A team off the top of my head that everyone thought was going to be in the Gavin McInnes sweepstakes, the Pittsburgh Penguins. They sit second in their division right now. Second. Yeah. They were, at least, I don't know about anybody else. I think everybody else had them in the Gavin McInnes sweepstakes. They are not in the Gavin McInnes sweepstakes.
They had them in the bottom five. Five.
So
nobody had the Blues in the bottom five. Almost nobody had the Blues in the bottom five.
No.
Maybe they had a miss in the playoffs, but they didn't have them in the bottom five.
Yeah. A lot. See, but that's the thing. No, I never look at. What's up?
No one had Toronto in the bottom 10.
I never look at anyone who does the grading for the Blues or predicts the Blues because, first of all, most of the times that they predict the Blues, they're wrong because they usually very, very undervalue the Blues. And they did the same thing I thought they would do. No one had the Blues in the playoffs, and although that is okay, you're entitled to your opinion. It's always been a continuous thing to where when I see people rank them, like when I watch YouTube videos of them like doing their predictions and stuff, they always have the Blues sitting on the outside of the playoffs, and then the Blues always, pick it up and then end up making the playoffs anyways, and then it crushes their dreams. But this was a year that, yes, they were accurate. They didn't say that the Blues were going to be that bad. They said that they were going to be probably a wild card team, and technically they are in the wild card hunt, but they're a lot lower than what we expected them to be.
Ryan Green said, from one jackass to another guy, you're wrong, and I'm right. Doesn't that sum up marriage? I'm not married to you, so I don't think you're completely wrong, and I don't think I'm completely wrong. I don't think you're completely right. I don't think I'm completely right. How's that sound? Right? It feels like they shed a shell and are growing a bigger one. I hope so. Nah, I'm not going to put that comment up. An optimist, as an optimist, to echo what I think both of you all are saying, it seems like they've raised the ceiling, even if it's not all there yet. Maybe. No, I'm not about to rage. I'm holding it in. Yeah, I agree, Justin. The Blues are always the kid no one pays attention to. Right? They
are not the team that people pay attention. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with people undervaluing the Blues because that's what makes it so much sweeter as people like me and Guy who watch the Blues, and you guys in the comments who watch the Blues on a regular basis know that this team is better than what the whole other fan bases give them credit for. So when they make the playoffs, all the Blues fans are like, hey, I told you. Hey, asshole, I told you. But then those fan bases are shocked when the Blues are a good team. I mean, we as Blues fans, we know they're a good team. We know they're a good team. But other fan bases, no, they're completely blindly, willfully ignorant when it comes to the Blues usually.
Right. This is I think we're going to see this to be an anomaly season. I really do. I think we're going to see. I don't know. I don't want to say anything.
Well, I think so too. I think it's going to be an anomaly season. Do I think the Blues are going to be a top 3 team in the NHL? No, but I think the Blues. I would not be surprised if this Blues team comes in next.
I said top 3 in the division. That's what I meant. 1, 2, or 3 in the division. First, second, or third in the division.
Well, even then, I'm going to say this as a safety. I think the Blues. I think it's an anomaly season, but I think the Blues. I think they'll come in next season, and I think that they'll be at least first wild card, no doubt. I personally believe that.
I got to put this comment up. Kelsey says, as a New York Jets fan, yes, it's nicer to suck in silence. And then she responds, that sounded dirtier than I meant.
Kelsey, you dirty dog.
You are lucky that I did not see that before I saw the other comment, because I might have let the sailor out on that one. I might have really let the sailor out on that one.
Kelsey, you dirty dog.
Wow.
But
Look,
yeah, no. Yeah.
Shot 17-16. Blues are coming back this period. 1-0. Shots were 7-6 Blues in the second period. They're 1-0. We had that was a good Ryan, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. Look, I understand. Here's my thing. If you 100% think that Kyrou is the lazy player by your observation and your observation only, okay. But if you let that observation be strengthened by the media, then that's where I have the problem. Because I think the media has created that, right? One of the guys that tweets almost every single time the Blues give up a goal said was not. No, Kelsey, that was fine. What you said was fine. It was really good. I'm sorry. And we want you to say whatever you want to say, no matter how you say it.
Tyler Tucker going off right now.
Oh yeah, he looks hurt. Oh yeah, that's not good. What happened here? Oh yeah, he got right down on the knee. That hurt. He bruised his knee. I mean, well, he fell straight on his knee, so hopefully he'll be okay. But I don't see a penalty there. He got caught up with him. He didn't. That wasn't a penalty. One of the Blues media members. You go, and I'm not going to say who it is. You can figure it out. Go look at his tweets, his or hers tweet. I think all the Blues ones are mailed anyway. Every time the Blues score a goal, every single time he tweets about when the girls score a goal, it's what the Blues did wrong to get for that goal to happen. And he's not the only one. A couple of them do it. It's not like the opposition did something right. Oh, neighbor just missed.
Yeah, neighbors hit the post.
If I'm caught with you, I must be behind again. Nope, you're caught up. I'm a little behind, but like really tiny behind. I'll leave it at this. I don't think we're way behind you guys. So, yeah, in some ways he is. He's getting that, and Tank wasn't a media guy either, right? With a down year and crappy offensive number, Kyrie's only a -8. Yep, that's a good point, Chris.
One positive I want people to take a note of, and we talked about the Blues and how they played out of the break. Just take a note. Watch how they're playing in this period and just every period before. The third period, the Blues, Guy has talked about a lot on this show, the killer instinct. The Blues have had killer instinct in almost every third period since the break.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
So, every third period, the Blues have, I don't know what it is, the third period has just been their period, and it's looked like it ever since the break.
Who's a guy? I'm going to ask this question. Who's a guy out there? And I'm asking this to everybody. Who's a guy out there on this team that you think goes out and gives 100% every single time he's on the ice? Goes out and does everything. I wish
Nathan
I knew,
McKinnon.
Ryan. I wish I knew. Right?
Nathan
I wish
McKinnon.
I knew. Say again?
Nathan McKinnon.
No, on the Blues. Nathan McKinnon's not on the Blues.
Oh, well, I didn't hear you say the Blues, asshole.
Hey, don't call me an asshole.
And
I did say on the Blues.
Well, I didn't hear it. That's the point.
Well, that doesn't make me the asshole.
Well, you got to speak up there, guy. As for the Blues, 100% every game, I don't think you can really say anybody on this team gives 100% every game. I think maybe as production. But that's the thing. You can't really say as for 100%. It doesn't mean you have to be productive either. Yeah. So you can still give 100% and still just not be, as productive as like a Nathan McKinnon, like a Connor McDavid. So I think although the production isn't there, I think Neighbors gives 100% on this team. Usually night in, night out, he tries at least. I don't think he's effective, every single night, but that's not really the question. The question is who do I think gives 100%?
Well, here you go. Neighbors, -17. Gives you effort, or -11, gives you effort every night. Walker, -5, gives you effort every night. He was mentioned. Walker, Broberg, and Holloway. Broberg.
Yeah, I think Broberg gives you effort.
Broberg
I think Broberg gives you effort. Yeah, Broberg definitely gives you effort every night.
Holloway is a +1. Parayko, -13. People say he gives effort. Fowler, -13. Torpachenko. No, I've never heard anyone say that Torpachenko isn't out there giving it all. -11. Mayu. Now, Mayu, I've heard, -20. Kyrou, with 35 points, which I think is second on the team, is only -8.
Kyrou has how many points?
35.
And he's second on the team?
Third.
Okay. Yeah, Robert Thomas leads this team in points, and Robert Thomas has had a down year. He has 45 points after tonight with his assist, at least so far. So 45 points is what leads the Blues right now.
All right, and he's +11, right? Bushnevich, 40 points, -15. But I have heard, people say that, we were on him for a while. So that's what I was at. You're just throwing in random players. No, I'm showing you these are guys that I do agree with that, Ryan. 44 points being number one is embarrassing. I bet you 44 points isn't in the top 50 in the NHL.
I never miss.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is, but still, it goes to show you that how valuable, first of all, of a piece on why I've made Robert Thomas such a focal point on everything, and why I don't think that you get rid of a guy like Thomas, because although he's had a down year, he's been out with injury, he still leads this team in points. So he's the most valuable guy that you got on this team. So this is why I was always never on the trade Robert Thomas bandwagon.
I wasn't. Don't. When you say that, you make it sound like I was on the trade Robert.
Well, unless I say Guy, you were not.
Okay.
Unless I say Guy, you were on the trade Robert Thomas. I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
I'm talking about the general masses of people that wanted to trade Robert Thomas.
Fair enough.
I will say, if you want me to tell you on which train you were on, I persuaded you at first. You were on the get rid of Thomas, keep Kyrou train. So I can say that you were on that train, but I persuaded you into going into the Robert Thomas camp because I said Robert Thomas is a center and he plays a more valuable position than Jorden Guy.
I said if you're going to get rid of one of them, that you were going to get a higher return for Thomas. But I've never been on the camp of trading Thomas.
No, you've never been on the straight get rid of Thomas camp. No, I'm just saying that when we were talking about it with Jim Thomas and all the guests and the shows in between, we were talking about it, and you're like, hey, you know what, Justin? You convinced me that if you were to trade one guy, you should probably look for a trade for Jorden Guy because Thomas plays a more valuable position, and he's your best player on your team.
I'll agree there. Okay. But it was. I just thought you got a better return for Kyrou or for Tom, and I said if you were going to trade one, but I didn't want to trade either one of them. Just one.
Absolutely, you'd get a better assets for Thomas. But I do think that you would get a nice, sizable return for Jorden Guy also. I think, yeah, but obviously, yes, the more bigger return would be Thomas. But again, it's all about that return. If I'm not getting a center back in return that can play now, that is a valuable piece now, I'm not doing that trade. I'm sorry. It sets your center depth back. It sets your team back.
Well, here you go. Right? Robert Thomas has 44 points. He is tied for
45 now.
Huh?
45 now. 45 now because he got his assist today.
45, but I mean, this doesn't get updated until after the game. So at the start of this game, he had 44 points. He is tied with 114th in the league. So everyone on this team has had a down year. But no one talks about everybody else's down year. They talk about Kyrou's down year. That's what I get at. And that's the media aspect of this that I'm getting at. Blues are showing that instinct, man. It's shots are getting there. Right? I see this. They are fighting. They're fighting. I see that. Now I'd have to go team by team this to see, if there's teams where someone else, where that wouldn't lead a team. In a lot of teams, he wouldn't even be third. He'd be, I couldn't even tell you what rank he'd be on a lot of teams, 5th or 6th maybe.
Yeah, and also you have to look at it like this too. How many? There's been a decent chunk of games that Thomas has missed. So he hasn't been in the lineup all year. I don't think has Jorden Guy been in the lineup all year. I don't know if he has.
One game.
Missed one game.
Yeah.
And that was what? Maybe from the benching in Buffalo.
Yeah, the game where he got benched. Yeah, he has been healthy the entire year. Okay, Braden Shin currently is minus 24, right? That's currently 9:14 to go in the third is minus 4. And Justin Falk is minus 3, right? Justin Falk has 34 points. I don't know how many he had with St. Louis. I'll tell you here in a second. He had 32 points with St. Louis. He's only got 2 with Detroit in 5 games. And he's even with Detroit. He was minus 3 here. So he had Falk, the plus minus was better, right?
For me, plus
and
for
Ryan
plus minus, I don't plus minus. People say it's a useless stat, but it does have a little bit of a telling feature to it. But plus minus is not my end all be all when it comes to stats. At least to me,
he might be behind there because he says Suter 100% effort, maybe. See, this comment is just to get me fired up.
Well, Suter, might add on the other one, Suter's a guy I've been high on all year. I think he's been a guy that's been completely consistent all year. He doesn't get the production that, like, maybe people would want, but Suter's not going to be like a 50-point guy. Suter's a 25, 30-point guy, maybe, at best. And hell, he can maybe even put more on the board than that. I don't know. But he's a consistent guy. He's smart with the puck.
When Kyrou is on the ice, you might as well be on the PK. And that comment's not even close to true. And that's just to piss me off. Shaggy asks, Guy, you ever go with just a mustache? Yes, I have, actually. When I was in the Navy, you weren't allowed to have facial hair. And I actually might have a picture of me with just a mustache. I don't know if it's on my computer. I'd have to do something to get it there. Oh, actually, yeah, I do know I have one on the computer. Hold on a sec. Hold on, I'm looking for it. Let's see here. What was I looking for? I don't even know what I'm looking for now. I do now. I'll find it. Might take me a little bit. This is older, but it will show you what when I did just have the mustache. He could be Shags. Shags asks, is Dylan Highway one of the most underrated players in the NHL? If he could stay healthy, I think he would be. I mean, part of that is the way he plays.
Dylan Holloway. There you go. Yeah, the Blues are definitely getting that killer instinct. They definitely have that killer instinct here in the third period. They've far away been the better team. They've tilted this game by far. The Blues are getting opportunities. If they can get more cleaner on the tape stuff, I mean, which they have, it's been like kind of like bouncing around, slipping on the sticks and whatnot. But as for Dylan Holloway is a guy that I could put in that it gives 100% range usually every game.
Yeah, I will, and he's got a decent plus minus for that, right? That there's another picture, and this is a little bit older, but again, this was from 90. This is 30 years old, but that's when I just wore a mustache. I haven't just had a mustache since I got out of the Navy in 17 years. If anything, I'll shave it really, really close. I just haven't shaved in a couple of days. So Oh, yeah, that got caught there. So there you go, Shags, to answer your question. Ranger says, Ryan says the urgency is high in this period. Yeah, it feels like it. You know what? The Blues' biggest problem is keeping their mistakes out of the back of the net. That's the biggest problem. You make mistakes. The job is to keep them out of the back of the net. You can't make the ones that end up in the back of the net. And that's been the Blues' biggest problem all year. Too many mistakes that have ended up in the back of the net. And that goes for every single player on this team. Every single player. Right? That's how I feel about it. I made that joke with somebody.
I would change
did
the
make that
format.
joke
Change
with
the
somebody.
format of what we got going on here.
I made the mustache ride joke with somebody. I think it was Kelsey I made that mustache ride joke with. Or so I made it with, no, was it Sam or Kelsey? One of the two. I made it with one of the ladies one time. And I said right away that it was a joke. So nope, wasn't me. Okay. Wasn't you? Somebody, I said free mustache rides for the ladies or something like that. I remember saying that. Not too long ago, too. Kelsey, doesn't mean the ladies wouldn't charge. I think the mustache ride goes the other way. Jeremy Rutherford put out, man, do the Blues have a player with a better stick than Steinberg? Always in position, keeping the puck alive, keeping in zone, etc. By the way, 3 goals is the most that have ever been disallowed in a game, and this was the second time that it's ever happened. Edmonton had it happen once. Ah. 4:22 to go. This one's got a feeling to it, and I don't want to say it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great third period here. Definitely have tilted the ice. Hopefully the Blues can get one near the end of this game. That way it doesn't go into extras. But honestly, I'm still hopeful. It's still not impossible. Like I said, everybody that the Blues play in the rest of March are teams that are below the playoff line right now as they sit. So Blues got to take advantage of playing teams that are not above the playoff line. In the rest of this month, the Winnipeg game was deflating, not because of the fact that they played bad and laid an egg. They actually played fantastic, and that's what made it so disappointing. Was they played so well and they deserved to beat Winnipeg, and they didn't.
Yeah.
It's still not. Sorry, go ahead.
Kelsey's firing back at me. She says, so is the mustache where the men store their audacity? I always thought that was the prostate. That's pretty good. Oh, my goodness. I'm getting slammed. Sorry. And if I offended anybody, I apologize. It was all joking, 1,000,000%. Ugh. You're muted.
I guess. Is this long comment? Did you get to this long comment?
The bottom one? This one? If you didn't know the standings for these teams, you might think they're in the bottom just by watching this period alone. You might not think they're in the bottom just while they're both flying out there. They've been flying, but I think that I know he's saying where the free mustache ride came from. It came from a movie. Blues are controlling this period, that's for sure. I mean, shots are 10-6 this period alone. Right? Blues may have been outshot in the first, but they're definitely outshot in the second and the third. Have been the outshooters, have been control. Oh, here we go. Oh, Thomas got. Oh, wow. Oh, that better get called. Oh, they didn't call that. Oh, wow. No way. Thomas just got chopped on his finger.
Stop. Remember, superstars get the calls, though, right?
You would think.
Where was the call? Oh, so now because you can't do your job properly, Thomas gives it to you, rightfully so, and then you're going to give him an unsportsmanlike conduct, right? Terrible.
Is that what he got?
Terrible. Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. he told him off.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, but that
rightfully so. No, there's no defending that. No defending.
Yeah. He told him not to say anything again, and he still went. You know, he got himself that penalty. I understand telling when the ref says enough is enough, that then the player needs to shut the hell up. Doesn't mean that the ref is right, but the player, because the ref controls it. The ref has that right.
That's been the issue. The referees have too much call or too much say in what's going on in this game. That's the problem. That's been the issue. And then here we go. Coleman, the same guy who commits this infraction against Thomas, is going to go to the box anyways. So why didn't you just call the original penalty?
Yeah.
Coleman, an absolute snake in this league, who has had numerous dirty plays in the NHL, commits another infraction, finally called. Doesn't matter. It's going to be 4-on-4 now.
Well, Kelsey, Thomas has an A on his shirt, so the Blues don't have so he is one of the captains. He has the right to talk to the ref. And actually, yeah, the ones with the letters are the ones that are supposed to be talking to the ref. We're 4-on-4 for 120. By the way, Justin, I got to do no post game tonight. We got to go off shortly after the game's over. Chris Shockey says, nope, I would have made it a 10 and still screamed down the runway. I like that, Shocks. I'm sure you've gotten a game misconduct while you were in your playing career. I'm almost positive of it. Unfortunately, I have something I have to go do as soon as the game's over. Blues on a little bit of a power play now. Did not see this would be an OT game, but I think it's going to be. Ooh, 4 seconds to go.
Well, there we go. Overtime. Yep, overtime it is. Well, Blues get a point at least,
Yep.
so that's good. It's crazy. You get the three no goals rightfully called. They did there, and then in that period, it felt like the Blues were it was all over them, or they were all over the Calgary Flames in the third period. I felt the killer instinct. They couldn't get one. They had a few good chances, but I mean, at least you're getting a point. Like I said, this is a point that extra point or not. This means more to the Blues than it does the Flames. I mean, the Flames don't need this point. The Blues do if you're going to push for something.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Have we hit all the comments here? I think we got a couple. I think. Did we hit all the comments here? What's going on with
Say
the
again?
comments? Said, did we hit all the comments?
Yeah,
here?
I think
I
we
feel
are.
like we missed.
Hold on.
I didn't mean.
He said on this was Chris. Hold on. Okay. Guy, stay on. I can't. I guess without the C, that makes sense. It's just one designated person in rugby. Anyone with the letter in hockey can. I just wanted you to stay on while I go to bed. On Sergey's beer league team, you're 25 seconds ahead of me. Sorry. I was only in the box once as a Warrior, served a bench minor. Should have been called for more, but I was a more experienced guy playing with beginners, so I knew some of the tricks to get away with it. We get a point. Further and further from McKenna we go. We were never going to get McKenna, so tuck us in and tell us the legend of Sir Bennington. Oh my goodness.
I hope Robert Thomas is a part of this game-winning goal.
Yeah, after he got slashed.
Yeah.
Oh, Holloway, good. I mean, he got a good shot on goal. Oh, now Justin, I'll give that to you. Oh, Hofer saved the refs there.
Save the refs. What?
Yeah, the refs. I don't know if it was a complete trip, but it could have been called.
The referee from 2 fucking zones away had to call this penalty.
Yeah.
What a joke!
No, I'm with you with the
Jesus.
referees.
What a joke! I mean, granted, there was no argument for Bush. I mean, I think it was, but still, I mean, like the referee who was in the zone didn't even call this penalty. The guy who was 2 zones away calls this penalty. Oh. Yeah, Zary, it's a high stick. Zary does overly drama queen this, but I mean, it was a high stick, but Zary does put on his best drama queen performance with this high stick. Well, here we go. 4-on-3 power play. Calgary calls a timeout. We'll see what the Blues can cook up here.
Let's see what they can do. Ryan said, "Hey, a 1% chance at the number 1 pick is still good." Well, we're going to have probably like a 10% chance or a 4 or 5%. The lowest you can get is 4% or 5%, I think. So we're not making the playoffs, so we're going to have a chance. Four on three, it's almost impossible. This is why the NHL came up with the inquisitional minors.
This is yeah, but this I hate. I cannot stand games that end 4-on-3 in overtime. I think it's so lame. I think it is so lame.
That do what? End 4-3?
I think it's lame when overtime ends 4-on-3. I think it's lame. I'm kind of with you. I would be okay if they did something like where they put it 5-on-4.
Yeah, I'd like to see the
like something different, because 4-on-3. I'm sorry. I just think it's lame. I mean, 4-on-3. I mean, really, that's just. I get it. It's a penalty. It's 3-on-3, and then it would be 4-on-3. But I mean, come on. I mean, it's almost like it's almost 100% of the time, if you know what you're doing, it's pretty much a goal.
Yeah. Any good team's going to win the game. No matter what. Any good team is going to win the game. Right? Glad you're learning, Kelsey. We're doing our best. Yes, they add it goes 4-on-3 and they add a player. Oh, Suter right there. And then Mayu played Peacemaker. Good job, Mayu. Hopefully keep us from. Oh, Suter's pissed. We don't need to go 5-on-3. I think they should go 5-on-4, and then as soon as when the penalty ends, as soon as the next whistle, right? You go back down to 3-on-3.
Yeah, it's smart. Okay, so minute and 1 left to go. You can. I like how Curbs and Joey explained it. You can get Thomas back out for the last 30 minutes of this.
30 seconds. Yeah.
You said 30 seconds.
Minutes.
Yeah, 30 seconds.
30 minutes. I don't think I want to do another 30 minutes of this game.
No, it's not been a overly exhilarating game, but I kind of expected that. I'm Calgary's up there for me for they're not an exhilarating team to watch, if I'm honest. Shooter tried. It's a good try by him. Got about 35 seconds left.
Yeah. Good kill so far. I mean, I would, especially if you're going to go, I would make one small change to the rule, right? If you're going to allow 4-on-3, first of all, I think you should go to, instead of 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And I don't mind 3-on-3. I've talked about it. If it's done right, you make it to where you can't go back into your own zone. You cannot purposely go into your own zone. Great save by Hofer.
What a save by Hofer.
Yeah, this game is really chippy.
Yeah, and yep, great save by Hofer. You're going to get Thomas out here. They finally got a whistle. That's good.
You won't put it's only 7 seconds. You might put Thomas on the.
Well, Thomas plays the penalty kill.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's what they were saying. That 30 seconds left on the power play, but they couldn't get a change because of the long change.
Yeah.
So, good save by Hofer there on a deflection opportunity. You got 7 seconds left to go. I would assume Thomas is out here for the penalty or for the rest of the power play. Yep, Thomas is out there.
Yep.
On the face, it's good to see Robert Thomas taking face-offs again. He hasn't had great face-offs tonight.
He won 13 out of 20.
Yeah. Good block. There you go. There's your kill. Now you play 4-on-4 until you get a whistle.
Yeah.
There you go. God, boys, come on, in this game. Missing the man. And and it looks like we're going to a shootout.
Right there, going to a shootout.
All right, well,
they'd be 4-1 if not for some sloppy mistakes. Still trudging after taking the wind out of their sails 3 times. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Everybody knows if you've watched Kelsey. I know you haven't been here for the longest period of time. I know you came over from the other podcasts and whatnot. But how I feel about the shootouts, I don't know how much me and Guy agree on this one. I'm not a big fan of the shootouts. I think that they need to. I think that they need to change some rules in the overtime to make overtime a little bit more exhilarating and fun. And kind of limit the amount of times we see the shootout. Because I think it's a 50-50. I mean, it is a 50-50. So I don't like the shootouts, but that's just me.
I don't mind the shootouts. I've said that. But I do think I do think that Show Me State Fishing. Hey, Show Me State Fishing. How you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Hey, by the way, I'm a big Fisher guy. I think are you Jason Nichols' cousin? I think that's who that is. Overtime would be nice, 4-4 at least. I don't, maybe. I mean, they tried it for a while and they got so good at it that it kept going to shootouts, right? I think I don't mind the shootout, but I would like to see overtime go to 5 minutes and switching sides. Okay, well, hey, Show Me State Fishing. Look me up on Facebook, Guy Bensing. I would love to learn more about you and what you do over there because I'm from Missouri. I'm from St. Louis, and I come home once a year to go fishing. So I'd love to learn more, man. I almost don't want to say because it's not very big. Chris Shockey can tell you it's 3-1, 3 pounds, 1 ounce. I haven't got to do a lot of fishing for a long time. I just got back in it. Okay, here's the first one. Oh, and he still missed. Good break, and he still missed. Yeah, Show Me State. I'd like to learn more. I'm going to look your channel up after this. Hey, please follow us, Show Me State. Yeah, Hofer got him to go wide. Man, I forgot what I was going to say. I'd like to see him go to 2 5-minute halves, and I don't mind the 3-on-3, but I'd like to on 3-on-3. I'd like to see it to where when you can bring the puck out of your zone into the neutral zone, but you can't go back to your defensive zone, right? If you go back to your defensive zone, it's a defensive zone faceoff. Here comes the second one. He scored. So Blues got to put it away. Thank you, Show Me. My name's Guy, by the way. I'm the Hawaii Blues fan, and this is Justin the Eagle Eye Scott. By the way, Show Me, my favorite lake is Pomme de Terre. I went there as a kid. Here comes Snoogie. Can he do it? Oh, no. So this is on Hofer now. It's all on Hofer now. Yeah, and that's it. Well, they lose in a shootout. Show Me State, great to meet you too. Unfortunately, guys, I got to end the show. I need to go. I have something I have to take care of. I apologize. Sorry about everything that happened today. Blues get a point, but don't get the extra one. Have fun. Show Me State coming back and see. I think the Blues play again on Friday. Join us on Friday night. They play Winnipeg a little bit later, or not Winnipeg, Vancouver a little bit later game. I will subscribe to you, and let's see what we get. 24 wins in regulation, the most. West team not in the playoffs. Yeah, we can win it in regulation. Can't do anything in the overtime.
Yeah,
okay, guys.
Go ahead. I can't believe. No. I just was saying. I couldn't believe. I thought that this team would be better in a shootout, but man, I feel like every time that this team goes to a shootout, they lose.
Yeah. So Show Me State, Guy Bensing on YouTube. Look me up. Send me a message. Okay, guys, have a great night. Unfortunately, I'm just going to end the stream. I'm not going to do our little thing. I'll have to get me and Justin to do a video one time, so I have it if I need it. But guys, have a great night, and we'll see you on the next BueNote Plan Report. Aloha, mahalo. Thanks for watching us. Justin, thank you for covering me with the fire alarm. Have a good one, everyone.